they became trash.
Yeah, I remember when Beanie Babies were hot, and this is how long ago it was when they were super hot. 5 years. I was still living in Anniston, and I knew some people that owned a toy store, and they would literally get a shipment in. People would find out when the shipment came in. They would show up at the store that day, wipe them clean out, and they would have to get a new shipment in. That's how hot they were. That's in Anniston, freaking Alabama. I can't imagine in bigger cities what it was like. But, I mean, people were buying them as quick as the shipment showed up. I mean, my buddy was like, if we could just open the back of the truck, we could sell them off the truck. We tell people you at least got to wait for us to get them in the store and inventory them so we know what we're selling you. And that lasted like 30 seconds.
Wow.
The same thing with Labubu. We go to Montana next. A motorist told police that he was busy attempting to urinate into a Budweiser can when he accidentally plowed into another vehicle on a Montana roadway, according to court records. I thought of this the other day as I was
hard to pee, easy to spill.
It's actually good. I thought of this the other day as I was driving and caught myself in a situation where if I did not find a men's room soon, I was going to have to consider the 32-ounce cup of Diet Coke that I had emptied. And I've never done that. I have never gone in a cup in a car, ever in my life.
Oh, I used to do it all the time as a kid on
all
a long
the time,
trip.
huh?
A kid on a long trip, yeah.
Yeah, Dad would hand you a cup.
Bottle, usually.
Bottle?
Yeah. I mean, not to family brag, but the cup.
It's bad when you start to get to fill up the bottle.
And
there's a moment of panic where you go, oh no.
Yeah.
There's no stopping.
Oh,
I mean,
stop.
At the doctor's office, I mean, when I've got to do a urine test, I mean, they give you that little cup, and then you start filling the cup up, and then you're like,
well, don't you do it over a toilet where the rest can go to the toilet?
But there's that transition move there.
Yeah, no, it's going to spill a little.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get it out of the cup without there being you breaking the stream at some point.
Yeah.
I guess you can shut it off if you're more of a superhero than I am.
No, once I get going, if it's going, it's going.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. It's a heavy flow at that point.
Yeah, as detailed.
Buckle up.
As detailed in a probable cause affidavit, James Howard was driving his Chevrolet Suburban on a Missoula roadway when he slammed into the rear of a Volkswagen carrying 2 passengers. A highway patrol officer who arrived at the crash scene Thursday evening reported seeing Howard with a, quote, large Budweiser beer can in his right hand, which he moved into the center console. Howard, cops say, handed over the beer can when asked. He said it contained urine and not beer. I mean, obviously, if it contains beer, now we've got an open container DUI situation, right?
Yeah.
He further explained that he rear-ended the vehicle because he was attempting to urinate in the beer can while driving.
Not legal, by the way. It's distracted driving.
Howard, who claimed to have consumed only 1 beer, reportedly smelled of alcohol. His speech was slow and slurred. His pants were wet with urine. He stated he had more than a couple of DUIs and was not supposed to be driving. I'm going to jail for a blinking long time, he apparently told cops.
Yeah. There you go. All this about peeing in the cup.
Yep.
Not good enough. By the way, if you're in Missoula, Montana, or anywhere in Alabama, I mean, there's a side road just boom off behind a bush or something.
I've gone on the side of the road.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Red Shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to shannara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
The Auburn coaching search, the Kiffin saga, Alabama trying to win their final 2 games, including the night game down at the Iron Bowl, everything else going on in college football. Alabama basketball with another top 10 matchup tonight in Chicago, all that to get to. But everybody's talking about the college football selection process. Everybody's talking about Hunter Yurachek, one of ours. He's the SEC. He's one of ours. And then he goes out there and he compliments Texas A&M on their comeback win against South Carolina. And then he criticizes Alabama on having to come back and beat South Carolina. They do themselves no favors by having this show, and then even worse than the rankings, going out and trying to explain their rankings, because their explanations only make it worse. We say this every year. Them talking afterwards only makes their rankings worse.
Well, look, I'm an eye test guy, and I know eye test is not part of the criteria, but it seems like they're using eye test with Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame is kind of the hot, polarizing team in this, just based on the fact that, Yurachek said last night, well, Notre Dame's two losses. Talked about quality losses. What about quality wins? You got 1 ranked win.
Yeah. I'm okay with quality losses.
I am too.
Yeah.
But I think quality wins should be just as important or more important.
Yeah. I would say more important quality wins than quality losses than playing nobody.
Yeah.
Right? You can't. And listen, there's game control, which I'm a big favor of if we've got like schedules. But you know where I can control a game better? By the way, Notre Dame ranks higher than Alabama in game control. Like, Notre Dame is 5th in game control. Alabama's 10th. Well, you know how you can control a game better?
Play worse competition.
Yeah, play crappy opponents.
So you took down Syracuse. Play Syracuse.
Yeah, look,
I bet you they'll control that game Saturday.
Yeah, the totality of Notre Dame's losses are, yes, better than Alabama's, better than Florida State and Oklahoma. The combination of on the road Miami, Texas A&M, still kind of close in my opinion.
Yeah,
a little bit close. But the wins aren't even close.
Yeah. Can I just go back to your eye test point? We are using the eye test on Ohio State. That's 100% what we're doing with Ohio State.
Why
is Ohio State number 1?
Yeah. Well,
tell me, back up Ohio State being number 1 to me.
And I've got no problem with them being number 1.
I don't either, Jim.
To me, they look like the best team in the country, but they played nobody.
But back it up without saying what you just said. What did you just say? To you, they what?
Yeah.
They look like the best team in the country.
They look like the best team, but they played, you can't really tell. They played nobody.
Yeah. They look like the best team because of that uniform.
But
because they're Ohio State, and I trust that they're a really good team. They're the defending champions.
Said it for weeks. I think Notre Dame is a team that can win the national championship. I think they're better than last year's Notre Dame team that played for the national championship. If you plug Notre Dame, and people would go nuts, but if they were number 5 instead of Texas Tech, I think you got your top 5 right.
Oh, so you think Notre Dame's too low?
Well, I mean, look, based on criteria and everything that you put in here, I don't know how you can make them any higher. Yeah. I'm just saying, if I was just listing the top 5 teams, how about this, that I wouldn't want to play right now? Notre Dame would be in that top 5.
And I'm going to agree with you here. I've got no problem where Notre Dame is.
So y'all both think Notre Dame's better than Alabama?
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
it's really close.
I've got no problem Notre Dame being in this playoffs. Right. To me, they're one of the 12 best teams.
No, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
As you see the rankings, no problem with that. The problem for Alabama is why do we even have strength of schedule? The teams they have beaten. When you talk about, Notre Dame just beat Pitt, they were just in our rankings. That was a quality win Alabama has beaten teams that are actually still in your rankings. LSU used to be in your ranking. Alabama beat them too. They were pretty high in your, some people's rankings at some point.
I will tell you one problem potentially for the committee now, and they've painted themselves. Well, there's a lot. But,
oh my God, they've painted themselves into so many corners.
But imagine this one, because they talk about, asked directly. Notre Dame and Miami have the same record, but Miami beat them head-to-head. Well, if we get to a point where we've got to, at the end of the year, it will be a significant point head-to-head. What happens? You get down to it, and there's 1 or 2 bids left, and you got Notre Dame and Miami, identical records, and Miami has not played in the ACC championship
game. Well,
that's
probably why you saw Notre Dame in front of Alabama last night, so they could say, no, that wasn't the discussion for the final spot, so we didn't have to use the head-to-head.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
But I mentioned
But how do you let Miami in front of them, or Notre Dame in front of Miami?
I mentioned it yesterday. Sometimes you pull somebody with you, but sometimes you pull somebody out with you. Now, there's no way in God's green earth they're going to pull Notre Dame out of this.
Negative, friend.
Okay, but Notre Dame just beat who this past weekend?
They just beat Pittsburgh. Now
you know who Miami's got coming up?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So
in
what
2
are you
weeks.
saying?
No, I'm just saying Miami will try to beat the holy hell out of them.
They will. They
Yeah.
will. And knowing Mario Cristobal, Pitt will probably beat them. And this will be a null and void discussion.
And that's why when you start talking yourself into circles. I want you to hear Cut 14, Tyler, Hunter Yurachek, who is new on the job here. He's going to jump in here and try to explain things. Brooks sent out a great graphic last night. Next round is going to be part of the screen you see here on comparing Alabama and Notre Dame. Again, I don't know if this needs to be an Alabama and Notre Dame discussion, though that's where I pointed out yesterday that was going to be a big thing to watch. Is Alabama ahead of Notre Dame? And I felt like if Alabama was ahead of Notre Dame, then all Alabama had to do was beat Eastern Illinois and Auburn. Behind Notre Dame, then you've left yourself open for a Big 12 championship game upset or something happening that you could get bumped out of this thing as the 5th SEC team. Here's Hunter Yurachek trying to explain the comparison to Alabama and Notre Dame. At some point along the night, I don't know if it's in the clip or not, he started talking about how Notre Dame runs the ball better than Alabama, the rushing yards. Alabama's struggling to run the ball. We're doing stats now. And stats, I was told as a young kid, my grandfather told me, stats, little junior, for losers. But rushing yards is a stat we're going to hang our hat on. Here's Hunter Yurachek.
Alabama had that string where they had 4 really strong wins at Georgia, against Vanderbilt, Missouri, and Tennessee. And then you look at Notre Dame, they've got a win against Southern Cal and a dominating win last week against a Pitt team that was ranked in our top 25. Really, where you break these teams down in the comparison, Notre Dame and Alabama, Notre Dame has losses to 2 teams that are within the top 13, a 3-point loss against Miami to start the season, and then a 1-point loss versus Texas A&M. Alabama obviously has a 2-point loss at home last week to Oklahoma, but they had that loss at the beginning of the season, 31-17 at Florida State, a team that's now 5-5. Florida State was up in that game 24-7. They held Alabama to less than 100 yards rushing in that game, and that really was a sign of some of the struggles Alabama was going to have rushing the ball. You go back and look at Alabama's game against South Carolina, where they scored 2 touchdowns late to win that game, and then their next game against LSU, where they won both of those but didn't rush the ball for 100 yards, and then again against Oklahoma was not able to move the ball on the ground. So you look at the games that Alabama has struggled in, starting this season against Florida State, where they struggled the ball, and that's really the difference. There's 2 really good 8-2 teams, but I think you look at the losses of Notre Dame versus the losses of Alabama, and that was really one of the defining metrics that we used.
Hunter Yurachek there.
You're paid to interview this guy. Ask him, what about the wins?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an easy follow-up, isn't it?
He even said it. His list of the Alabama wins went 4-1, and he had to put in they beat Pitt last week, who was in our rankings. 4-1 there. It's
boy, Notre Dame better hope USC wins this week.
Yeah, or if they don't,
I mean, they're going to have no ranked wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, again, the committee controls that.
Yeah, 20-25.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and that's
USC won't fall 10.
Yeah. If Alabama's on the wrong side of this committee, a Vanderbilt loss, a Tennessee loss, a Missouri loss, and they're going to start plucking those. If they don't want Alabama in, they'll start plucking those babies out at the bottom. If they want Alabama in, they'll start throwing them in at the bottom.
So could I also make this argument?
You can.
If I'm the anti-Hunter Yurachek. Notre Dame and their loss
we call him Gunner
Yurachek.
Yes.
Notre Dame and their loss to Miami gave up 27 points. What's Miami's season average? I don't know, but 27 points feels like a lot to give up in a loss. But that was only exceeded by the next week when they gave up 41 in a loss to Texas A&M. That feels like not very good defense. The next week they won, but to continue signs of struggle in their defense, they gave up 30 to Purdue. Purdue's one of the worst teams in college football and put 30 on Notre Dame.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you want to start playing this game, Alabama doesn't run the ball well. There is not a soul in America that'll argue with you on that one.
Nope.
But where are Notre Dame's deficiencies? Well, I mean, at the start of the year, they were defensive.
Yeah, we should eliminate Michigan, by the way. because they can't throw the ball.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's no way you put them in. I mean, you've watched them try to throw it.
If there's one side of the ball you can't do well, then you're out. God bless the air raid back in the day. You'd have been out.
Yeah. Let me
no contention.
Ask you about perception of these two programs, though. When we were growing up, Notre Dame was kind of a rock star program.
Yeah.
And I know there's still a ton of eyeballs, and there's a ton of alums throughout the country that pull for Notre Dame. But Alabama's kind of Notre Dame, where for the kids, like when we were kids.
Yeah.
And so, I'm just wondering, the perception, is Notre Dame a bigger brand than Alabama? I don't think they are. They might have more eyeballs, but Alabama's a bigger brand.
Do we have the TV ratings from this past week? And for the season now, Alabama by far the most watched team in college football this past week. What is gold? Either Alabama having to win in the fourth quarter or losing. And it happened again this weekend. Oklahoma, Alabama, 10.5 million viewers. Georgia, Texas, 10.4 million. And then a big gap. Even Stewart puts a big gap in there in his tweet, getting down to number 3, 4. Notre Dame, Pitt, ESPN, 4 million viewers.
By the way, straight out of game day. I mean, that's a coveted spot right there. That's a good viewership.
And that wasn't on ESPN, by the way. That was ABC, wasn't it?
Well, he's got it at his ESPN.
Yeah, but that was ABC.
It was ABC.
Okay.
Yeah, so 4 million people on ABC watch Notre Dame and Pitt. I mean, that's alarming, and that's Notre Dame's brand now. To your point, LT, the new Notre Dame is Alabama / the SEC.
Well, I think
Notre Dame back in the day when I was a kid and you guys were about to be kids, that was Notre Dame was the TV gold mine.
Yeah.
Now it is Alabama and the SEC.
Because everybody wanted to watch Notre Dame lose. All these kids,
which is why
and
Alabama had
kids,
10 million people watching.
20 to 35-year-olds, they want to watch. If they're not an Alabama fan, they want to watch Alabama lose.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So are you suggesting that Alabama will be helped by being the most viewed team in college football this season?
I think
You think so?
I think that is a check that Hunter Yurchek won't talk about. I think that's a check in the market.
My God, if he's talking about rushing stats,
Yeah, and
I'd rather talk about most watched
And I'll say this
teams.
one more point. Back to Alabama and Notre Dame, I agree. Both should be in. Both are top 10 teams, no doubt about it.
Yeah. And see, this only becomes a problem. And listen, I know you in the chat room. I don't even see the chat room right now. I know you're saying
I tell you what the chat room's
Alabama
saying.
needs to go on and they just need to win the game.
That's what the chat room's saying. Just win and you're fine.
Just win the game. And that's true. If you end up in Atlanta, it's an automatic bid out there. If you beat Eastern Illinois, you beat Auburn, you get that bid to Atlanta, you win there. Nobody can do anything about it. That is an automatic bid. So you win and you're in. And if you lose, you don't deserve to be in. Totally understand that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Here is the discussion, though. Here's the problem. Win Eastern Illinois, beat Auburn, then go to the SEC game and lose.
Okay.
The championship game. We've been told
10-3
that if you're in the SEC championship game, that's not going to be held against you. But what if you're down at 9 or 10 and there's a Big 12 championship game upset? Now what's happening to us? Right?
Well,
yeah, then you start – can you imagine if Miami gets in based on the fact that we're going to put Notre Dame in. Now we got to put Miami in with like record. They beat Miami, and we're putting Miami in over a 3-loss SEC team that just lost their conference championship game.
And by the way, now BYU beats Texas Tech. Texas Tech, by the way, boys, not falling out.
Oh, they're in.
Not falling out.
Yeah, I mean, they're all the way up at number 5 now.
Yeah, barring an upset for them coming up.
Too bad Utah doesn't play in the ACC.
You're right, because they'd easily be in.
But BYU, Utah, 11-12, just right there, hanging on the outside, waiting to jump in.
And I think they deserve to be 11-12. I really do.
But now let me paint the other side of this for Alabama.
As you paint the other side,
let's do this.
We need to do a couple of spots here.
Yeah.
The show being brought to you by our friends at CPAP Plus, Sleep Home Alabama. Some sleepless nights leading up to Selection Sunday. If Alabama wins out but doesn't get into the SEC championship game, it's going to be another one of those years. God, it was better when they were undefeated, right? And number one, everybody was bored about murder ball. Didn't have to worry about this stuff. Now you got to worry about this stuff all the time. CPAP Plus can help you sleep.
Hey, look, if you're not getting the proper sleep, if you're groggy all day, you need that nap. You need to get the proper 8 hours. It's great for your health. If you're on a CPAP, listen up. Our friends at O'Neill Medical and CPAP Plus, they're running their Show Your Score promotion right now. Just stop by one of their locations, Pelham, Trustful, Inverness, Highway 280. No appointment needed. Show your ResMed My Air sleep score, and you're automatically entered to win a brand new ResMed Air Mini Travel CPAP worth $900. The Show Your Score raffle runs through December 31st. Don't miss it. Get all the details, o'neillmed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
Hey, our guy Alexander Shinara, Birmingham born and bred. In fact, some of his team will be in studio with us tomorrow to talk about what they're doing to help their community. You'll want to see that just before trash tomorrow with our guy Alexander Shinara and his team. Right here in Birmingham, more than 24 years. The firm has grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members, and they've recovered more than $2 billion. $2 billion. Maintaining Alexander's core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. It's this simple. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, you call the Alexander Shinara trial attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shinara.com. Shinara.com. My point was going to be that college football consistently does their dead level best to try to screw this sport up, and they almost inevitably land on their feet somehow. It almost always works out.
Well, you're
for them.
right. I mean, when's the last time we had a true controversy where people are like, I cannot believe. At the end of the year, it just feels like we've got a defined national champion, and there's no discussion.
So that's the thing, is college football long has tried to screw this up time and time and time and time again, and somehow they always land on their feet. They're the cat that ends up landing on their feet somehow. So for Alabama, if you believe Alabama belongs in this playoff, USC is going to beat Oregon, and USC won't jump Alabama, I don't think, if they beat Oregon. I don't.
No, they shouldn't.
And then Oregon falls below Alabama. USC will be below Alabama, so another notch up, right? Missouri will upset Oklahoma. Something like that will happen.
But you're not of the belief. Alabama losing would ease a lot of problems.
Alabama losing, and this is a waste of time.
It helps the committee out tremendously.
No doubt.
You're not of the belief, though, that we could play this tournament with two Big Ten teams, are you?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think this could. I mean, just listen to me.
Okay.
You tell me how you get more in. So if Oregon loses to USC and Washington, these are all unlikely. But then they've got 3 losses. They got no wins. If USC beats Oregon but loses to UCLA, and then Michigan loses to Ohio State, how do you put 3 in?
But answer this question. If Oregon, let's just say this weekend, massive game, CBS, right?
Well, you get me, though, that there's only 2 teams in it.
Well, that's what I'm about to ask you.
Okay.
So let's say this weekend, let's just say, and this is not crazy, USC beats Oregon, okay? Do you believe Oregon falls below Alabama?
Yes.
Do you believe Oregon falls below Alabama? All right. And they're not in the Big Ten championship game. So I'm not going to say they get left out, but I do think they are now in the transfer spot. And now.
Well, and they've still got to go to Washington.
Well, yeah, but beyond that, now you've got the issue with Oregon of we kind of got to put. Everybody just saw this game. We got to put USC in front of them. So I think USC now is in front of Oregon. So I think USC's in the transfer spot. So to me, I'm just talking from Alabama terms. I think a USC win over Oregon solves all your problems.
Yeah.
Because USC's not going to the Big Ten championship game. They're going to be an at-large, and I don't think there's any way they jump in front of Alabama.
Okay, but if they won, just let me ask you what happens to USC. If USC beats Oregon, which I don't think they will, if they beat Oregon and then they were to lose to UCLA,
then you
would be very USC-like.
You move Oregon back in if there is room.
But if Oregon loses to Washington,
well, then you've got the 2-team Big Ten tournament.
We
will not.
Jim, I don't know.
We will not play this tournament with two
can't.
Big Tens
I don't know.
or
I
two
agree
SECs
because those
ever.
scenarios won't happen.
Yeah.
But if Washington beats Oregon, USC beats Oregon, USC loses to UCLA,
it's going to be hard to
and
put
Michigan loses to Ohio State, you've only got 2 teams.
Yeah, but you're talking USC losing to UCLA. You're talking.
That's the only wild one.
You're talking craziness.
No, every other thing he painted is not that crazy.
No, the crazy thing is, tell me what happens if USC wins out and then Oregon beats Washington and they too have 2 losses.
Well,
now USC's only got 2 losses.
Both are behind Alabama, and USC's in front of Oregon.
They're getting 4 in though.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. See what he's doing here.
They have to.
So now we're not going to leave out a 10-2 Big Ten team.
Well, no, Oregon would be the team out.
Oregon's out.
Yeah.
USC's in. Oregon's
How are we going to
out.
leave out a 10-2?
Oh, you would have to leave Oregon out before USC, or you got to put them both in.
Yeah.
You would have to.
Now do Miami, Notre Dame. And now do Alabama if they beat Auburn, but doesn't play in the SEC championship game.
They'll be in front of the USC, or they'll be in front of USC if USC beats Oregon. They will not jump USC in front of Alabama.
I'm just saying, man. They make it. There's no context ever applied to what they're doing. It's like they walk in and they figure it out. Okay, we put it down this week, but then the next week, I'll give you a great example. Miami, the first time they did this, where was Miami? 18th?
18. And they've done nothing since, but they continue to climb.
Yeah. You know who they jump all the time? Whoever's got the bye in front of them.
That's right.
Georgia Tech took the week off. Boop. Miami jumped over Georgia Tech.
Yep.
This past week, you know who was off? Vanderbilt. Boop. Miami jumped over Vanderbilt.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know who's off this week, but look out. Here comes Miami.
So what happened? Well, you got a lot of teams taking a bye this week. So what happened, Jim, was they threw all that in there and didn't think they were going to get the blowback on the first game of the season head-to-head, and they did. And now they were like, ooh, we can't overcorrect. We can't throw Miami in front of Notre Dame. But if we'll just keep creeping them up, maybe something will happen in our favor, and it almost always does.
Alabama was number 4 in their rankings with that Florida State loss. That Florida State loss didn't happen this past weekend.
No, they were number 4 with that loss.
They were number 4 with that loss. And then they lose a 2-point game at home to the team that you have in your top 10.
Yeah.
When everything that could go wrong went against Alabama in that game. The turnovers, the blocked bad snap, hot-headed kicker miss.
Yeah.
Well, however you want to describe it. It just all went against you, and you lost by 2 to, by the way, in a game you won the rushing battle in.
Yeah.
If rushing yards are important, Hunter Yurachek.
If Alabama wins this past weekend, again, with all the flukish stuff that happens, I mean, they're already in. They're locked.
It seems that way, but they can make it up every week. And they'll make it up again next week, and then they will make it up again the week after that, and then finally we'll get the 12-team field, and yes, it usually works out.
It does. So the best realistic, not Lance's.
But Georgia's locked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best realistic outcome, single game outcome to benefit Alabama would be Missouri beating Oklahoma, right? Because that's really going to remove all doubt at that point. Oklahoma's going to drop back below Alabama.
Yeah, eliminating any other SEC team helps Alabama
that's my
tremendously.
point. Yeah. So wouldn't you say, if you're an Alabama fan and you say, all right, I need one game to go Alabama's way, the best realistic, I'm going to throw the word realistic in here, single game outcome is Missouri beating Oklahoma.
Third string quarterback Missouri on the road at Oklahoma. Brown Bandit pick, but that is
Brown Bandit pick. It's not easy.
Yeah, Eli Drinkwitz being mentioned in jobs from Auburn to Baton Rouge.
That's right.
Happy Valley to Gainesville.
Yeah, no, there's a lot going against Missouri in this game.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they get to play Oklahoma's offense, which is not very good. But that's the best realistic, because even, that's more realistic to me than USC beating Oregon in Eugene. Ooh. Missouri beating Oklahoma. Well, the point spread would tell
about
you
the same.
Okay.
What is the Missouri right now?
7.5.
Yeah.
Listen, I love me some Dan Lanning. I've never been, but I love home field advantage Watson. But you tell me what Oregon has done that makes you think that USC has a better – I mean, they look better than Oregon does, eye test to me.
Lance, you just saw them with your own 2 eyes. I know it was hazy and cold and rainy.
Yeah, their defense is playing much better, but their offense has started to struggle.
But against an Iowa team in horrible conditions, the game you saw.
Hey, that was an amazing comeback.
Yeah, and they beat Iowa better than Oregon beat Iowa.
But it was in Iowa City.
Yeah. Did USC play Penn State? I mean, that's Oregon's best win.
Oh, I know. No, Oregon is a house of cards.
Well, I guess the win at Iowa is their best win, but they don't talk about that. They talk about the Penn State win.
But USC's got the Michigan win, and they've got the Iowa win.
By the way,
Iowa's not even ranked now.
If we're going to use stats, Oregon couldn't throw the ball in that game. They somehow won, but they couldn't throw the ball.
Yeah. It makes no sense. And Hunter Yurachek's probably like, thanks for placing me in this chair again because something happened to Mac Rhodes, and he had to leave this chair. I've got to go out here and take the heat.
At least I don't have anything going on. Oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to hire a coach for my program.
Yeah, you know what? He better hire somebody who can run the damn ball. If rushing stats are that important.
Bring back Paul Johnson.
One more thing before we get to Andy Staples, who's on our show at 9:30. Roman Harper maybe driving somewhere will join us at 10 o'clock, start hour number 2. Show being brought to you by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa LT. Tell us about Woodhouse.
Hey, it is the best day spa out there. If you're looking for the perfect gift this holiday season, what about the gift of relaxation for wife, girlfriend, mom, whoever it is in your family that needs that gift of relaxation? They're going to love it. Located conveniently right there at the Summit Shopping Center's beautiful renovated location right there. Voted America's best day spa since 2009. You can let them choose. Menu of over 70 options, including the massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. You can order gift cards online. Simple solution right there, 24/7. Go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com. That is birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
How about free alterations and free gift wrapping this holiday season from the Pants Store? Locations in Huntsville and Birmingham, Tuscaloosa and Auburn, and pantsstore.com. And you can get all the Alabama and Auburn polos and hats and quarter zips and hoodies and sweatshirts that your heart desires from famous name brands like Horn Legend, Cutter & Buck, Antigua Gentile. Nothing says War Eagle or Roll Tide like the Pants Store. And ladies, they've got the game day boots and dresses and rompers and all the great New Balances and everything else that you can get right there. Pantsstore.com, pantsstore.com, and they'll ship anywhere for you this holiday season. All right. One more thing. It's our Bojangles Tender Moment of the Day. Brown's about to tell us about Bojangles after we go to Bill Belichick. I mean, if this was my daughter on a normal weeknight, I would be like, I really have to go to this? Bill Belichick goes and watches his young 20-something girlfriend, Jordan, who's part of a co-ed adult cheer team.
A lot going on here.
A co-ed adult cheer team.
Wow.
And Bill Belichick goes and watches her compete midweek. Forrester, your daughter's in cheering. I didn't know. I mean, this is like your local softball league, a bowling league, dodgeball league. Do they have like competition for adults, co-eds? This isn't for a team. They just get together and cheer?
Yeah, this was new to me. She's what, 24, 25, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like, I don't know if you guys know, there are women out there that they compete in pageants still, like in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah, but I've seen
I mean, to
that.
each their own. That's kind of weird, though.
Yeah,
like,
but you can throw MS, the Ms. America, MS. I mean, that makes sense to me.
No, but it's not. It's not one of those pageants. It's like for 40-year-old women that still want to.
Yeah, so we're not like trying to be Miss America.
I mean, this is somebody trying to still hang on, right?
Yeah, I did not know, Scott, this existed. I was going to ask Scott the same question Dunaway just did, because Scott is our portal to the cheer world because of his daughter. But Scott, you didn't even know the adult cheer teams existed?
No. When I get Bill's age, I hope it's if I'm at one of these, it better be one of my grandkids.
Grandkid.
And do they have cool names like, hey, the Twisted Tumblers? Remember, we're getting together at the Irish Deli afterwards. We're going to have beers and wings after we compete in our tumbling competition this week. Weird scene, man.
That is weird.
Scene.
At least Bill looks happy to be here.
And by the way, the person to her left, our right on the screen, he's easily in his 30s.
Are you talking about slick back hair guy?
No,
big cheekbone guy. Big cheekbone guy?
No, not big cheekbone. Not figure skate looking guy. The guy to her left.
Slick back hair guy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's slick back. He's buzzed tight, but it's the sort of chunky guy. With,
he might be touching 40.
He looks miserable. He looks like he might have tweaked that knee.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm getting too old for this. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
20 years ago you were,
Yeah, and by the way, when you get to be that age, those big bows, not as cute.
No.
Not as cute in your hair as you think they are.
They were going through the airport the other day. Did you see how she was wearing her jacket?
Oh, I did not.
Was it tied around her
way
waist?
off her shoulders?
No, it was way off her shoulders.
of course
it was the windbreaker down, but I mean, it really looked like he was walking his granddaughter through the
Andy Staples next with us.
I know. I was just going to say quickly back on the photo, guy standing right in front of Belichick there, very excited about the competition too. He was extremely excited to be there, it appears.
Bojangles Tender Moment of the Day.
It's the Tender Moment presented by Bojangles. You can make it bow time for your holiday parties, your tailgate parties, your watch parties, those holiday parties. So imagine having Bojangles fried chicken, the hand-breaded chicken tenders, the great sides, the biscuits, the tea, the Bo Bites, hand-breaded chicken tender bites right there. Bojangles available now with peach honey pepper dipping sauce. You can make that your holiday party, your watch party, your for college football, your tailgate for college football or high school football. It can always be bow time. Andy Staples is next.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Thanksgiving is here, and let the New York Butcher Shop be the place to get all of your holiday meal items. Their premium turkeys are fresh, free-range, and hormone-free. The New York Butcher Shop also has a wide selection of chef-prepared side items to help save you time in the kitchen. Pick up a bottle of wine, and your meal will be complete. Turkeys are selling fast, so place your order today. 2 locations to serve you, in Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Hey, by the way, big win for Troy last night. They went out in basketball and beat San Diego State 108-107 in double overtime. Did you see Nick Pringle get the game-winning dunk for Arkansas, and then with time left on the clock, gets tangled up coming off, slams a guy to the floor?
Yep.
No technical foul or anything, and Arkansas holds on and wins 84-83 thanks to the Pringle dunk.
Yeah, any other time in the game that is called.
Yeah, I thought
it's got to be something.
I thought the same thing.
I couldn't tell from the camera angle because it was one of those campus broadcasts whether the guy wrapped his arm around Pringle's neck.
It looked like he did. It looked like he was the aggressor in the whole situation.
It looked like the Winthrop guy sort of wrapped him around the neck, and then Pringle pushed him off of him in an aggressive way, hard to the floor.
Yeah, but Lance is right. 19:20 to go in the half. That's a T.
Oh.
Probably a double T.
Probably a double T. Yeah. Exactly. Get Jackson State at Auburn tonight, 8 o'clock, SEC Network. Alabama, number 11 in the country, taking on number 8 Illinois tonight, 8 o'clock FS1. If you want to watch the Tide in another big top 10 matchup after their win over St. John's and their close loss to Purdue. And last night you had Duke handling Kansas, and then Kentucky having a troubleshooting as they lose to Michigan State. Let's continue the football conversation with our friend Andy Staples. As we bring him in, Brownie, I want to remind folks that game day deserves the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. For Bama and Auburn fans, enjoy the refreshing taste of Coke Zero Sugar because fan work is thirsty work.
All right, Andy Staples on 3 is with us now. You can see him every single morning, same places you get us, YouTube, podcast, all of that. Support Andy's product there. Andy, welcome in. Thank you very much for the time. How are you today?
Doing good, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Doing fantastic. Having a conversation I think a lot of people didn't think we would be having today because I think most people in our audience thought Alabama would be in front of Notre Dame, and they were not. Were you surprised when you saw the Tides name pop up before the Irish?
Yes. Yeah, because I think this committee feels like they're doing it differently than the ones in the past have, because we're just basing it off what we've seen the past 11 years. And the past 11 years, and I realize the people have changed, but there was always more of a reliance on who'd you beat than how many losses do you have, who'd you lose to? Because like last year's a good example. You know, there was this argument over Indiana and Alabama and all that. But the thing is, like, Alabama was ahead of Indiana when it only had 2 losses last year, and Indiana only had 1. And I thought that Alabama might end up ahead of Oregon and Notre Dame because Alabama's wins were a lot better than Oregon's too. So I was very surprised by that. And, you know, look, it's weird because you had Hunter Yurachek, the committee chair, say they weren't even directly comparing Miami and Notre Dame, who have the same record and played, and they have Notre Dame ahead. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. The thing about Bama, they got to win the Iron Bowl. That's pretty much it. Like, they'll be in if they win the Iron Bowl. They'll be out if they don't. And I think everybody understands that.
So, Andy, what do you think happens with Miami? I mean, they're going to be favored. They're going to be favored, obviously, Virginia Tech. I mean, they're a massive favorite in that one. But they're going to be favored at Pitt. If they went out and they're 10-2 and Notre Dame's sitting there at 10-2, I mean, does the ACC get 2 teams in?
No. They don't need one.
I mean, they don't deserve to get
They don't deserve one.
It depends on if you get to a point where there's direct comparison between Miami and Notre Dame, which I think the way they're creeping up in the rankings, they will. Now, I will point out that Miami typically does not like those cold weather games at the end of the season. They actually had a game against Pitt a few years ago, and obviously different coaching staff, different players, but you know, they went up there. It was Kenny Pickett's first start as a freshman, and they got shocked. And this is when they were going to the ACC championship game. So I think I wouldn't assume that Miami is going to just win out. But the thing is, if they look like they did against NC State and they do that for 2 games in a row more, I think they are going to end up getting compared to Notre Dame. And I think the Notre Dame fans who've been assured of Notre Dame's place in the playoff are going to be a little surprised at the end, because if they are making a direct comparison, they do feel like the resumes are similar, they're going to pick Miami because Miami won the game. So that's the thing. The tell last night was him saying they're not comparing those 2 directly. So that's interesting. The ACC is just wild. We're probably looking at a Georgia Tech Virginia ACC championship game, but given what's happened in that conference so far, I'm not willing to make any crazy predictions because Pitt's still in the mix, SMU's still in the mix. You know, it's entirely possible that some of these other teams could get in there.
If I can go back to Alabama again, Andy, as I often do, as you know. 2 things. One, I agree with you. If they beat Auburn and they stay where they are, they're in, unless there's a Big 12 championship game upset, because it's hard for me to imagine if Texas Tech wins out and then loses the Big 12 championship game that they fall all the way out. That's why I'm nervous about where Alabama is. And my second point is, if Alabama makes it to Atlanta and loses there, are you of the belief through your reporting, knowledge, and sourcing that loser of SEC championship game is in the playoffs? They're fine. If you can answer those 2.
I doubt there's any penalty for losing the SEC championship game, and that's the part everybody's got to remember. If Alabama wins the Iron Bowl, they're in the SEC championship game. Like, there's not any debate about that. So that's another feather in their cap. Like, that's another thing that's going to make sure they get in as long as they win. They're not falling out of the playoff if they lose to Auburn or if they beat Auburn. If they win the Iron Bowl, they're going to be in the playoff.
Okay.
Because
wait, can I throw another scenario?
There's no other way. Like, you can't knock them out, and then they're going to go play in the SEC championship game, and you're not going to say, oh, because they lost the SEC championship game. If it comes down to Alabama, loser of the SEC championship game with 3 losses, versus Texas A&M, loser of the Big 12 championship game with 2 losses, they're going to pick Alabama.
Okay, so what about this scenario? You go back last year, Georgia loses Carson Beck at halftime, final play of the game, or final play of the half. If Alabama was to lose a significant player and lose the game? I mean, maybe. Major hypothetical there, but...
Yeah, it didn't hurt Georgia.
Well,
they won the game.
Georgia won the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Alabama is deep enough that they're not gonna pull what. Remember, it's not a 14 playoff, so they're not gonna pull what they did with Jordan Travis in Florida State. Like what? How significant a player we're talking about? Ty Simpson.
That's significant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we think Alabama doesn't have a capable backup quarterback?
You assume. But
do we think Alabama doesn't beat most of the teams in the country if they're starting their backup?
Probably, but I'm
it's
just
Alabama,
saying.
For God's sake.
No, I get it.
It's not like the rest of the team
Austin
sucks,
Mack would be that guy, but I'm just saying if you absorb loss number 3 and you lose the game and you lose your quarterback, again, crazy hypothetical. I agree with you.
Yeah,
if they beat Auburn, they're in.
I think you, and I understand. Look, Alabama lost a football game, and I know what that means where you guys live. Everybody freak out. The sky is falling. The world is ending. The only time the world is ending is if they lose the Iron Bowl. Then the world really is ending, and they can freak out all they want. But if they win the Iron Bowl, they're gonna be fine.
Andy Staples, the voice of reason here, at Andy Staples, on 3 Sports, and you can get his show with Ari every single day. Andy and Ari right there on YouTube, everywhere you get our show. He's with us on the Alexander Sonora Trial Attorneys Hotline. I was going to move on to a quick coaching search question. Are we done?
Yeah,
y'all got any more playoffs? Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure. I mean, it is obviously a very hot topic. I think Lane Kiffin, the ultimate result of this is he's going to be the highest paid coach in football. I just do not know where.
Yes.
I just don't know where, Andy, but he's going to be the highest paid coach in football somewhere. And I don't know that anybody knows where, and Lane Kiffin may not even know where. But I do think we're in a world where staying at Ole Miss makes an awful lot of sense for him. And I don't think we could have been in this world 20 years ago.
Definitely not. I don't know if we would have been in this world 5 years ago, but definitely in it now. Because, look, they're in the playoff. LSU and Florida aren't. Ole Miss is capable of competing for the national title right now. LSU and Florida aren't. Now, you can say the ceiling is higher. I'm not sure they are. I think the ceiling is national championship at all 3 places. So it's not that, and it's not going to be money. They're all going to offer him a ton of money. It's going to come down to where does Lane Kiffin want to work? And I've been saying this the entire time. It is his personal preference, and as you know, he's the ultimate wild card. So anybody who tells you they know what's going to happen, like I had a tweet about Lane yesterday, and I screenshotted a set of 4 replies. All 4 replies by, not by any other reporters, just, fans that are interested in the sport. Every one of them was dead certain they knew it was going to happen. And there were 4 different results. Nobody knows but Lane Kiffin. So don't try to handicap it. You can say, his family visited Gainesville, his family visited Baton Rouge. Yes, they did. It doesn't mean that he's definitely leaving. And you can say, well, he talked up Ole Miss on the Pat McAfee show. Doesn't mean he's definitely staying. The easiest thing for him, if he wanted this to end, which he clearly doesn't, is he'd say, I'm staying at Ole Miss and signing an extension. That would be it. This would end immediately. But he has not said that. He's been given lots of opportunities to say that. He hasn't said that. So now you've got Ole Miss needing an answer, because Ole Miss needs to know if they have to have a coaching search or not. And so they need an answer before they start prepping for the Egg Bowl. The Egg Bowl is a Black Friday game. Your Monday practice, your typical practice week, your Monday practice would be on Sunday. Your Sunday practice would be on Saturday if you're a Sunday practice team. Like, that's where you need to be watching. Is he going to give an answer? And the thing about this, and the reason he said there's no ultimatum, I don't know if there's an ultimatum, because I have no idea what the consequences would be if he says I'm leaving. Or if he just doesn't tell him anything. Like, I don't know that they just put him on administrative leave and go with an acting head coach or an interim. Like, I can't imagine that. But I also can't imagine a coach deciding to change teams before the playoff. But that's kind of where everybody is right now.
Well, and that's my thing is I wonder, what do you really do if you're Ole Miss if he decides to take the Florida job, or if he decides to take LSU? If you really believe that your best opportunity to win a national championship or make noise in this postseason is for Lane Kiffin to be your head coach, how do you not let him to continue to be the head coach just out of responsibility for your fans?
My co-host Ari Wasserman suggested this. He's like, don't even worry about 2026. He said, if Lane tells you he's going to Florida or LSU, just say, okay, fine, you're coaching the team the rest of the way, and we're not even going to do a coaching search. We'll make Pete Golding the head coach for next year, and it'll be like a Zach Arnett situation where if we don't like it, we'll fire him. And you could do that. You could do that if you want to. I don't think it's very practical, though, if we think about it from Keith Carter, the athletic director's perspective, because you're going to have the head coach of your team recruiting for a conference rival throughout your playoff run? Because he's going to have to do that. Whether he takes LSU or Florida, if he does that and then decides to keep coaching Ole Miss and they let him, he's going to spend a significant amount of time recruiting for those teams, for whatever team he's going to, not for Ole Miss. And you got to deal with that. And also, what about if any Ole Miss players want to go with him?
There you go. Yeah, because he's
you
recruiting.
Want to deal with that during the playoff.
Yeah, recruiting within his own program, or, well, what was his own program for his next program.
I get that, but those guys are going to go anyway.
Well, they probably are, but, boy, I do not want the fox.
You don't want to deal with that when you got games coming up.
Yeah.
Just see Isaiah Bond at the Rose Bowl semifinal game. Most people thought maybe he had already worked out a Texas deal.
Had already clocked out?
Yeah, before he got out there. Not that he played any less, but, you have these negotiations ongoing. Andy Staples is with us. All the attention on Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, LSU, Florida. What about the Auburn job right now? We've seen a lot of Auburn changes over the years, coaching searches. Some of them have been smooth, some of them haven't. How does this one look to you from where you sit? And do you think there's a clubhouse leader right now?
It seems like, just talking to the agents, that it's a pretty buttoned up search, and it's been not crazy. That they've identified their candidates, they've talked to the people they like, and they're trying to figure out what they want to do. Just based on what I've heard is the clubhouse leader seems to be Jon Sumrall at Tulane. And look, that's not news to anybody who's followed the sport for a few years. I mean, this is a guy who kind of feels built in a lab to be the spiritual successor to Pat Dye. I mean, he's a defensive guy. He's from Huntsville. His teams just play incredible defense. They're tough. He won 2 conference titles at Troy. He was in the conference title game last year with Tulane. He probably is going to be in the conference title game again with Tulane. Hell, he might be in the playoff. Let's not forget that. The difference is it's not the same conference. It's considered a step up, in weight class if he were to go to Auburn. So that's one where you probably could say, hey, you want to keep coaching through the playoff, that's fine with us. Like, I could see that happening. I don't see it happening if there's a move within the conference.
He is Andy Staples. You can follow him on social media at Andy Staples on 3 Sports, on their YouTube channel right there. He and Ari every single day talking college football. We always appreciate the time, Andy. Wonderful stuff, as always.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Andy Staples with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Hey, the show today being brought to you by Lance's Lock, lanceslock.com, presented by our friends at Hemp Hill.
Another winning night last night. Jump on board. Continue to win with us. 1-0 in college football last night. We've got one more play in college football up tonight. More NBA and college hoops as well. Free play every single day. It is brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trusted name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling. Any of those issues arise in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Hey, and whether you're a high school football fan or a college football fan, you've been at the stadium all game cheering on your favorite team, win or lose. You want a great celebration at our friends with Culver's. Treat yourself to something tasty at Culver's, from the juicy butter burgers to the creamy, fresh frozen custard, crispy crinkle-cut fries, gooey golden cheese curds. There's something for everyone in your crew to enjoy, win or lose. Culver's, the perfect place to celebrate the sweet memories you'll make all season long. So stop by the Culver's in Birmingham, Stadium Trace or Tattersall Park, and make this game day a delicious one. Culver's, welcome to delicious. All right, so we're at scenario season. I get it, scenario season, but this is one that would impact Notre Dame. This is what Marcus asked in the chat. Is this the way Notre Dame falls out, assuming everybody wins their games? Alabama wins the SEC championship, locks Alabama in, right? And then what he doesn't say is Georgia is also in, Texas A&M is also in, and Oklahoma is also in, and Ole Miss is also in. That's 5 SEC, okay? BYU wins the Big 12. So that puts BYU in and Texas Tech in.
7.
Everybody else wins in front. So you've still got Oregon in. You would still have Ohio State and Indiana in. A group of 5 and an ACC. Notre Dame's out then, right? That's Notre Dame's path out.
Yeah.
I don't see a spot for Notre Dame in that scenario.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Yeah.
That sounds correct.
Yeah, that's his question. Is that the only way really Notre Dame misses this thing?
I mean, is there any way to manipulate Notre Dame over Ole Miss at this point?
I don't think so.
I mean, 2 losses, one loss.
Again, as he says, as everybody wins, that's Ole Miss winning the Egg Bowl next week. I don't see how you would drop them below.
Is there any way Ole Miss can get in with a loss to Mississippi State?
They can get in, but there is a scenario they could fall out.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a loss.
Well, I mean, I would think there's a better scenario for them to fall out.
Yeah, than be in if you're losing at State.
They have a head-to-head to Oklahoma, though.
Ooh, that does change things. Got to forget that, don't you?
On the road.
Yeah, it does change things a little bit.
Yeah. All right, the show being brought to you by our friends at Alabama Power. Before LT tells us about Michelson and they talk a little entertainment, Alabama Power keeping you connected.
Absolutely are, Jim. And one thing Alabama Power wants to make certain of is that you are paying exactly what you're supposed to be paying. So they've got some customer tools that will help you do that and make sure you're not surprised by your bill. They're free, they are easy to use, they help you save and better manage your electrical service. Rate Advisor, it's a matchmaker for your rate plan. Bill Explainer helps you understand your bill in plain everyday language. And Energy Assistant, connecting customers with savings programs and financial resources when they need it the most. So check out all 3 tools right now at alabamapower.com.
And our friends at Michelson Laser Vision, if you wear the contacts or glasses, you're wasting money each and every year. I'm speaking from experience. I got the procedure done in 2003. Dr. Mort Michelson, the first to perform the procedure in 1995 in the state of Alabama. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
All right. So yesterday I got to see Now You See Me, Now You Don't, and I had a great time.
Okay.
Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg, their banter throughout the whole movie, excuse me, is really funny. I had a better time than I was expecting to. And it's weird because the 2 movies that just released, The Running Man and Now You See Me, I would have thought I would have had the opposite opinions going into them, thinking, wow, I can't believe we're trotting out Now You See Me, this just random franchise from 2011 or so. And Running Man, I expected to be very good, but ended up being the opposite.
So on The Running Man, because I was on Friday for a minute, jumping on and off, and you said that you were disappointed. Would you still recommend it or no?
Maybe just wait for streaming.
Okay,
that bad.
I hate to say it, but it was just not good after the first 2/3 of the movie.
Was it better than the original?
No, the original just has that 80s chaotic energy, and that's why I think that movie works as well as it does. But on Netflix tonight, we've got a new release, a new documentary, The Carmen Family Deaths. A fishing trip ends in tragedy when Linda Carmen vanishes at sea, leaving her son Nathan adrift for days. His rescue stirs up questions about his grandfather's murder and ignites a battle over inheritance that leads to shocking revelations. So it sounds like you can kind of guess what happened.
So I did see the Eddie Murphy documentary on Netflix. It was really well done. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet.
I have not.
Really good though. Yeah.
Next up, we got a new movie on Netflix. This sounds more up Jim's alley. It's called Champagne Problems. A driven American exec heads to Paris determined to acquire a champagne brand by Christmas and accidentally falls for the heir to the bubbly empire.
Couldn't see
and
it
it's
coming.
starring Minka Kelly.
Ooh.
I do like Minka Kelly.
Is she the heir?
I think she plays the exec.
Oh, the exec. Okay.
They always have like
We got the slop.
the female protagonist in these style movies.
she's gonna
play
fall
like
for
an
a French
ad executive.
dude.
Yeah, some French dude. Yeah. That's the way it's going to go.
And then finally tonight, Prime has added The Iron Claw to its catalog. So if you're in the mood for a really sad biopic that is also just a fantastic movie, you can check out The Iron Claw.
Very good.
Although there's some slight inaccuracies, they left out a brother. I guess they thought that there's no way that anyone would buy that their story is that sad.
Yeah, it was sad enough without the other brother.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, they're pushing this a little bit much. There's no way this much happened to this family, and then you find out it was more.
It was even worse. Yeah.
I mean, like the Kennedys.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's all I got today.
Roman Harper's on the show next. The show being brought to you by Inverness Country Club.
The Inverness Country Club, they've got memberships that fit everyone, from the social membership, of course, the golf membership, racket club, newly redone there. Get in, see our friends at the Inverness Country Club. Child care is also a big plus. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kids? Best days happen at Inverness. To take a tour of the club, 205-991-8608. Ask for Aaron. Tell her the next round sent you. For more information, you can always go online, iccalabama.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shinara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shinara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Thanksgiving is here, and let the New York Butcher Shop be the place to get all of your holiday meal items. Their premium turkeys are fresh, free-range, and hormone-free. The New York Butcher Shop also has a wide selection of chef-prepared side items to help save you time in the kitchen. Pick up a bottle of wine, and your meal will be complete. Turkeys are selling fast, so place your order today. 2 locations to serve you, in Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness. Think about the best summer nights of your life. How many of those were in a great t-shirt? Visit nextround.store to get the perfect t-shirt for the next perfect southern night. Nextround.store. The memories are waiting. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
On the road with Roman Harper, brought to you by our great friends at Walk-Ons today. Sports Bistro in Trussville, Greystone, and Stadium Trace for all the drinks and celebration after the games, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beer, cocktails, and the bold flavors for fans of all ages, from the melty mozzarella logs to the Hall of Fame level burgers. It's our friends at Walk-Ons, Trussville, Greystone, and Stadium Trace. It's game on.
All right, Roman Harper with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. What is up, Harp? How are you today, my friend?
What's up, fellas? How are you guys doing?
Doing great, doing great. Were you, I mean, it's the topic of the day, so I'll ask you the same question I started our last guest, Andy Staples, with. Were you surprised when you saw Alabama was behind Notre Dame last night? Did that take you off a little bit?
No, I mean, I understand why. Notre Dame won a game, Alabama lost the game. So it's just, and not only that, but they're Notre Dame, so they're always going to get the benefit of the doubt. And Notre Dame's playing really well. They said that was going to be a really good game versus Pittsburgh, and it was not. And so ultimately, you know, you control your own destiny when you win games. And right now, Alabama lost the game, and they have no reason to complain.
Where are you right now? We were talking about eye test, and we know eye test is not a criteria, although, I think it's kind of common sense and just part of it. Where are you eye test-wise on Alabama? Do you believe even after that loss, they are still a team that can win a championship, and are they closer to top 5, or are they where they should be right now?
I think they're about where they need to be. Look, you got to win games. I still think Alabama has the ability to win a championship game. I'm not going to back off of that. I do think they have holes in their game. And I think other teams have less holes in their game, like in Ohio State. I assume Indiana has less holes in their game, even though I'm not willing to commit to that as far as, like, top-tier talent. And so Texas A&M is a team that I think has less holes in their game. Georgia is a team right now that has less holes in their game because they're getting better and playing better right now than any other team, in my opinion, in the country. And so Alabama, they don't run the ball well. And when their offense they can't protect the quarterback has had problems holding onto the ball in the pocket. That has been a knock on Ty Simpson for me all year long. And then, when the wide receivers aren't getting open and they're not scoring at a high clip, they're going to struggle. So for me, that was Alabama earned that loss just as much as Oklahoma earned that win. And so I want to make sure I continue to give Oklahoma credit. But I got to say that Alabama, they earned that loss. You can't go out there, lose the turnover battle 3-0, put the ball on the ground on their side of the 50-yard line multiple times when you have a kicker named Tate Sandell in his hoochie daddy pants that are going to make every single kick when he has the opportunity to do it.
Hoochie daddy.
Listen, not Alabama related, but SEC related. Why, where's the incentive for the SEC to schedule out-of-conference games like they are scheduling? You look at future SEC out-of-conference schedules, and they are playing some massive big out-of-conference games, going to 9 conference games, which adds another difficult game to the schedule. Why schedule these games that you could possibly lose, Roman, when it doesn't matter strength of schedule? If I'm still 10-1, going into the last weekend. If I'm 11-1, 12-0, I'm in a better place than a tougher scheduled 10-2 team. Why play these games? Why do I have to schedule difficult?
I think because at the end of the day, when the SEC gets in 5 teams and is knocking on the door at 6 this year, it's going to pay off. It's just like, you know what? Well, having a harder schedule does matter. And especially when you go on the road and you win these games. And so, ultimately you still always control your own destiny in between the white lines. And so if I go out there and I know it's maybe on the road or a tough environment, but if I win that game, how much power does it give me at the end of the year? And then if you lose that game early on in the season, it doesn't really hurt you. We've seen that with Alabama right now versus Florida State. Nobody even cares about that loss. It's like it doesn't even happen. It's a mulligan. You get out of jail free card. So if you schedule these games early and you lose it, you still have the ability to make it all up because of your tougher schedule. And then if you win it, it's just something it's the ace in the hole. If you do need to get out of jail later, that a loss, they did beat Ohio State week 1. So I think it's net only positive at the end of it, because if you lose it, it doesn't matter. And then if you win it, then it's something that you can always look back onto and say, okay, that win matters a lot. Even though Miami beat Notre Dame, and we don't care about that one no more.
Yeah,
I know, but I said Notre Dame is different.
Yeah, and truthfully, if Texas had played Texas San Antonio instead of Ohio State, you think they're in a better place right now? If Alabama had played UT Martin against instead of Florida State, you think they're in a better place right now?
Not really. I mean, Alabama would still be behind Oklahoma because they just lost to them. Whether it's 1 loss or 2 losses, you're still lost. So you're still behind them. I think it doesn't do anything for Alabama. I think for Texas's point, I think Texas would have more of a pathway still into the playoff conversation because of their 2 losses being SEC teams. But ultimately, they have 3 losses now, but their 2 losses in the SEC would matter less. And so you say that, but I think Texas is still who they are. Like, I think all of these teams, everything we get so caught up in, I still haven't seen it where at the end of the year we're like, man, this team deserved to be in and they didn't get in. Because ultimately you lost the wrong game. Ole Miss last year, South Carolina last year. Like, they still lost the games that they lost. And I know they were pushing towards it and they wanted to get in, but they all still had 3 losses. Yeah. And right now you ain't getting in with 3 losses unless this year you're Alabama that gets into the SEC championship game and you lose to Texas A&M. Your 3 losses, you're still going to get in.
Roman Harper is with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. On the actual field, the game's being played. Texas A&M, they have feasted on the bottom half of the conference. They do have the win over Notre Dame, but they have feasted on the bottom half of the conference. A&M to you is what, Roman? I mean, tell me what A&M is to you.
Oh, they're full. They're full of them, right? How much they've eaten on the bottom half of these guys. It's been interesting to see. I think Texas A&M is still one of the best, most complete teams in the country because of the ability to be able to score at a high clip when they have to. And then defensively, I think they just crush people on 3rd down. And then they have some real killers up front. So I think I really like what Texas A&M is. I thought they played a terrible first half versus South Carolina. South Carolina, I'm more concerned, how do they ever recover after letting a team come back from 27 points in pretty much 1 quarter of football? It was like 1 quarter, and the game was all the way back. So I don't know how South Carolina ever truly recovers. And shout out to Texas A&M for not giving up. And it's unfortunate because I don't know what that would have kind of flipped the SEC upside down. But Texas A&M survived, and you got to give them credit for winning the game ultimately.
Roman, I know A&M's undefeated, but best team in the SEC right now is the Georgia Bulldogs, right?
Yes, correct. Look, and a lot of it has to do with how much they've improved as a team. Another part of it has to be I got to give Gunnar Stockton a lot of credit. Like, I didn't know he was going to be this good for this team this early, and he is an asset, not a liability. They are winning games because of Gunnar Stockton and what he's doing with that offense, with using his legs, ability to get the ball out, also taking care of the football for the most part, and making plays and getting it back out there. Shout out to Mike Bobo, which none of the Georgia fans want me to say, all right? But shout out to him as well. He's actually calling some really good games, putting his playmakers in position to make plays. And I know Georgia fans hate it, but Mike Bobo's doing well too. And Kirby Smart is putting on an absolute coaching clinic the last couple of weeks and showing why when you have a great head coach that's dialed into the X's and O's and is a freaking psychopath sometimes about this game of football, that it pays off dividends. He got a free first down out of Mississippi State and got 7 points out of it right before the half last week, or 2 weeks ago, in Starkville, and the game was over. Then this past week, when, okay, Georgia's got a lead. Oh, it's fourth quarter. What's Texas going to do to respond? Onside kick. Turn the heat up on them. Game over. Game over after that. And so those plays, those things, when you see head coaches going out there and doing those things, and then the players executing it on top of it, I love it. And for me, it kind of put Georgia at an upper echelon that everybody else is playing checkers and Kirby right now is playing chess.
If I changed Lane Kiffin's last name to Lane Harper and he was your brother, what advice would you give your brother over the next few days?
I would, first of all, ask him, like, what makes you happy? And, like, ultimately, like, what do you want to do in life? Because you have everything. Not only that, but you can go anywhere you want to. The world is your oyster. It's like being a top 5 recruit out of high school. It's like, well, what school do you want to go to? And what ultimately what vibe do you want? What do you think is going to bring you happiness? Because if Ole Miss and the Oxford is bringing you happiness, and you are still the same guy that got fired on the tarmac leaving USC, remember that. Like, don't forget who you are or what you've been through to get you to where you are right now. And so I know it's losing your father, having to break up with the wife, who's now back in his life, but as friends. And the family dynamic's good. And so do you uproot all that and go somewhere else? And I know you're hearing all the rumors about, well, the ex-wife's in Gainesville visiting. They were in Baton Rouge. I haven't seen any film I haven't seen any evidence of that. Just a lot of smoke and mirrors. The ex-wife is from Gainesville area. She went to Florida, so she can go there as much as she wants. I don't know if we should put anything into that. So, like, all of these things are true. And if Lane's last name was Harper, I would tell him, ultimately, what's going to make you happy? And do you want to be known as the greatest coach at this school, possibly, by staying here? Or do you want to go somewhere else and maybe, maybe. And you got to win a championship in the first 4 years at LSU, or you're going to be a failure, because that's the standard that they've set. And then at Florida, they've been really good, but they've been awful, right? The past, 4 out of the 5 years, they have losing seasons. 4 out of the last 5 years, they've had losing seasons. Before 2020, it had been since 1981 to 2020, they've had 2 losing seasons. And they've had 4 out of the last 5. So this is a program that says they're like an A+ or a dime, but really and truthfully, when you cut the lights on, it's like a 7, 6 and plus, 6 and change.
Hey, before you bounce out of here, last year on this show about this time, you were like, look, Alabama's defense got some holes in it. I'm not going to say anything about it, but it's got some holes in it. They're making the plays. That's okay, but it's got some holes in it. As you've had another full year to digest this, it looked pretty dang good Saturday. Where are you on this Alabama defense?
I think Alabama's defense is the reason why they are in a lot of these games and win them. But I would say this. It wasn't good enough versus Oklahoma. Dang. And how do I say that? Roman, how do you say that?
How do you say that?
Alabama doubled. Yeah, how do you say that? What do you mean? Because when you're a defense and you're a defensive guy, you can't control what the offense does. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
All right. So then all you can do is everything that you got to help your team win a game. Correct or incorrect?
That's correct. Okay.
All right. So what did we do wrong? Defense, or what can we get better at? All right. We did a good job. We only allowed 1 touchdown, a whole bunch of field goals. Fine. But let me tell you what the game-changing play was that the defense didn't make. All right. Alabama just throws a pick 6. It makes it 10-0. Alabama gets the ball back. They go right down. It is 7-10. Second quarter, early in second quarter, Next thing you know, first play of the drive, they drop back, they throw a slant route, hits Justin Jefferson dead in the hands.
Yep.
He catches that ball, he's got a wide open walk into a touchdown. 14-10, game is completely different. You go 14-10, it's called a missed opportunity. You can't have them. If we have a chance to flip the game, change everything in the game, and help our team win, we got to make the play. Not only that, but then Nakai Hill Green, number 41, dropped an interception in the third of the fourth quarter as well. That sets your team up at midfield, and all of a sudden you give your offense a chance to go down and be able to score and win the game again. So, no, the defense was not as good as they could be. And you still have to find ways to push yourselves and find ways to say, okay, what can I do to help my team win the game?
Yeah.
And so the defense, for as good as they weren't good enough, in my opinion, because of those two plays.
It'll make you feel good to know that Deontay.
And there was some other plays in there too. But those are the two biggest to me.
It'll make you feel good to know that Deontay Lawson, the first opportunity I had to interview him after the game, he was asked, you guys played your best game of the year, and he said, whoa. That was not our best game of the year, and he said, because we didn't turn the ball over at all. We lost the turnover battle, and that's on us. And that's the mentality you're talking about.
Because that's what you can control. It's literally the only thing that you can control. None of the rules are built for defenses to have any type of advantage in football. So you have to constantly push yourself and not accept mediocrity and not accept all the smoke that everybody's going to blow on you and tell you how great you are when you know deep down that the only way I can impact the game in a big way is to stop them on third down and to force turnovers. And if you don't force turnovers, you're not going to win that game. And so that was the biggest difference. Oklahoma made their kicks with the Hoochie Daddy pants. Love Tate Sandell. Love that kid. All right. And you can wear whatever you want when you make him kick.
That's right.
Paulty misses his kick, tries to blame the snapper. Embarrassing. He ain't good enough to do that either. I'm just telling you right now, you ain't that good to be calling out your snapper. When your snapper ain't called you out not one time, you done missed all these other kicks this season. So I don't want to hear about it. That's unacceptable. All right? It's three people that got to be thick as thieves on that team. It's the kicker, the punter, and the snapper. Like, those are the guys that we barely call football players that always hang out all the time. You can't be turning on each other. I'm just telling you. All right? That's not good. So they've missed their kicks. Oklahoma made theirs. You lose the takeaway turnover battle. Not only that, but then one went for 7. So defensively, you got to go get it back. And so all the other stats, none of them matter. Alabama won third down. You won all these other things. But if you don't win the stats that matter in football, you're going to lose that game. I don't care if it's Wednesday night, junior high, little league, or high school Friday nights. It's going to happen.
Well said. Harp, thank you for the time. Have a great weekend, buddy. We always appreciate it.
Oh, man, appreciate it, man. Miss you boys, man. Y'all be good, all right?
All right, buddy. Take care. Roman Harper with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And brought to you in part today by our friends at Twin Peaks.
Our friends at Twin Peaks want to remind you the 29-degree drafts are pouring right now. The signature 29-degree drafts. All the games will be on throughout the Twin Peaks locations, great lunches or dinners. And don't forget about happy hour. Nobody does happy hour like our friends at Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, they've got everything from the tequila cocktails, extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails, served over the ice balls, local craft beers, handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Round out that great drink menu, second to none. And again, Twin Peaks girls running around in 3D, serving up the 29-degree drafts, lunch or dinner. Stop into one of those great locations.
I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. It's where you find our friends at Johnston RV Center. They want you to know right now, with approved credit and zero down, you can get in an RV as low as $140 a month. Go see America in an RV from Johnston RV Center as low as $140 a month with zero down and approved credit. Now, that's not the only options they've got. They've got options that will fit anyone's budget there, so go see them. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online at johnstonrvcenter.com. While you're there, talk about RV Warranty Forever, lifetime warranty on anything that is new and qualifying pre-owned. See it for yourself. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, johnstonrvcenter.com.
Interesting on the Auburn coaching search. Jon Sumrall, you heard Andy Staples said, I believe most people believe he is the top target, if you will. And then a lot of people love DJ Durkin, and I think there's that group of people that would love to have both of them in their roles. One is a head coach, and the other stays on as defensive coordinator. Here's DJ Durkin this week getting asked if he has spoken to athletic director John Cohen about being the permanent head coach.
DJ, have you spoken with Cohen about the job and interviewed with him? Have you had that conversation with him?
I view every day here on the job as an interview. I think that's what I'm doing. I think you're getting a good glimpse of what I will be as a head coach here, and so I think I just treat it that way. And certainly there's conversations almost daily with him and our administration about a lot of things in the program, like would be the norm anyways. And so that's how it is. Our focus is solely on this team right now, preparing for the game this week, and that's it. And those things I think will play out and handle themselves as we go.
Is there anybody else in the mix, in your opinion, other than Jon Sumrall and DJ Durkin? Is there anybody else you think is on the radar?
I think it would be a wild card. I don't see it.
I had someone making when you get in coaching searches, you do have to.
Because James Franklin, I think, was that other wild card possibly.
Yeah, that's done.
It landed actually today in Blacksburg, had a news conference.
It's a great hire for them.
It's a great hire for them. Looks really good. I mean, I
do
throw the name.
You think he could have had the Auburn job?
Oh, yeah.
I think Eli Drinkwitz is floating around a lot of jobs.
That's what I was about to bring up.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, and I want to give the caveat of I'm not saying this guy's interested. I'm not saying this is from an insider. I had somebody, though, trying to sell me on Drinkwitz taking this job yesterday, and I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I think he's hanging around outside the LSU job, the Florida job, the Auburn job, the Penn State job. I think Eli Drinkwitz is right now poor man Lane Kiffin.
I think Lane Kiffin not only loves the fact that Lane Kiffin is the focus of all this attention and loves the fact that all he's doing is driving his price up every single day, but I think Lane Kiffin also loves the fact that he's controlling all these jobs right now. Everybody's kind of in a holding pattern because of Lane Kiffin. You ask Harper, if Lane Kiffin was Lane Harper and not Lane Kiffin, what would you tell him? I would ask you the same if your last name was Sumrall and your brother John came to you and said, give me some sage wisdom, give me some advice right now. What would you tell Jon Sumrall to do?
I would tell him to take the Auburn job.
I would tell him to wait.
Well, I would wait too.
Because I would wait and see what Lane Kiffin does.
Yeah, that's the thing. If Kiffin leaves, then the Ole Miss job's better right now.
Kiffin can only take one of these jobs. He can only take the Ole Miss job, the Florida job, or the LSU job. And when you wait and see what he does, then you have the full picture. And I don't think Jon Sumrall has the full picture right now.
We overplay fit a lot sometimes because Lane didn't fit Ole Miss, and he's made it fit. Ole Miss has morphed into being more like Lane Kiffin than it was when Lane Kiffin got there.
It's the dog that starts looking like its owner. I agree.
But I believe Jon Sumrall is a fit at Auburn, a really, really good fit at Auburn. You're following Lane in Oxford. Not only has Lane had a lot of success, he has done it in a wild, entertaining, come to the sip kind of way, and that's not Jon Sumrall.
Nope.
So these guys have been now conditioned in Oxford to be always talked about in the media and social media, where Lane Kiffin is a star and he is outspoken and flamboyant and does it a certain way, and that's not Jon Sumrall. I think unless he won really big, really quickly, they would be disappointed with Jon Sumrall in Oxford, where he fits more, to me, at a place like Auburn, where he could go in there, roll up his sleeves, and get to work.
Oh, I mean, I think Auburn, the fit is closer to him right now, but I think he's going to come in and change, whether it's Auburn, Ole Miss. I mean, he's going to put his stamp immediately on the program. All I am seeing, it seems like Ole Miss has got it dialed in better. Obviously, the results are the results. So I think it would be a decision. Now, I still lean that he would take the Auburn job based on what you hear behind the scenes with his wife and her ties there.
I would say this, though. I think having Durkin there.
But it's still leverage, back to your point.
Yeah.
Like, even if you decided, I would wait too, because even if I knew that I was going to take Auburn over Ole Miss, you get these two into a bidding war, then you're ultimately going to make more money.
All I'm saying is if I were giving him advice, I would say wait until everything is settled out here with Kiffin, because that only gives you more leverage to get the best deal you can possibly get. I think Auburn's in a great spot in that I don't know about you guys. You just asked the question, Jim. I feel like the DJ Durkin line is at 2 now. I think it started lower than that, but I think it's at 2 now. I think only Sumrall's in front of DJ Durkin for a lot of Auburn fans. This is just Auburn fans I'm talking about. So if you're doing the hires that make the fan base happy, I think only Sumrall is in front of Durkin. So I think if you're Auburn, you're in a good spot there. Are you comfortable enough with Durkin that you're just willing to wait and see how this settles out? Like Ole Miss is apparently not willing to wait on that, are they? Ole Miss is apparently like, we want our answer pretty soon, even though Kiffin denied it yesterday on McAfee. I think Ole Miss is like, we'd kind of like our answer now. And I think Florida and LSU are going to start, they're going to start getting a little antsy here.
You think the Auburn fans are number 2 with Durkin right now? Wow.
I do.
That is surprising because if you would have told Auburn fans 2 months ago DJ Durkin's going to be your next head coach, they would have
been excited about it. But who do you think's number? Who would you think is in front of him?
And that's DJ at 0-1 DJ Durkin.
I get that, but who do you think's in front of him?
No, I don't disagree, but I'm just saying I didn't realize that fans were that high on.
I think they are, just because I think they've scanned the landscape and they're like, okay, who are the candidates for this job? And I think even at Eli Drinkwitz, I think it's a hard sell on some Auburn fans with Eli Drinkwitz.
Well,
I think they would take Durkin in front of him.
But Drinkwitz is,
he's a proven coach.
He's a proven coach.
I get it.
Yeah. I'll tell you why the Auburn fans are very comfortable with DJ Durkin. They have been convinced by those of us that do the talking and others that if DJ Durkin stays, that most of that roster stays. And if DJ Durkin leaves, then a lot of that roster leaves. And I don't know if either is true, but that is the conversation. I want to keep DJ Durkin so that we can keep this guy and this guy and this guy on defense and maybe this guy on offense and maybe this guy on offense, where in reality you, A, are not guaranteed that, and B, you can't be fearful of who you're going to lose and who you can bring in.
Well, yeah, you can't. And then those are the same guys that you're losing with right now. I mean, look, very, very talented players, and we saw a lot of these guys unleashed against Vanderbilt, so it has been different. But all I'm saying is you got to get the right guy in to coach these guys.
And this is not a reflection on DJ Durkin. I'm just saying as a fan, if it were my program, you know who the coach I don't want to hire? The coach that agrees to keep a assistant because it's forced on him. That's the guy. Yeah. I don't want that
I was
coach.
talking about DJ Durkin as a head coach.
I know. But there are a lot of people that are saying, bring in somebody that's going to keep DJ Durkin. That's not the coach I want. I want a coach that's got backbone. And now, look,
but you might have a coach that wants DJ Durkin.
He may, and I'm going to say if he scans the landscape and says, oh, no, I would have hired DJ Durkin at my old school. I want him right here. Fine. But if it was a disaster for Hugh Freeze, he was forced to keep Carnell Williams, and y'all saw how ugly of an exit that was, right?
Yes.
Hugh Freeze wasn't going to keep Carnell Williams. Hugh Freeze was told as a caveat to taking this job, as part of taking this job, you're keeping Carnell Williams.
Tyler, give me cut number 9. Here's Xavier Atkins, so we can put the DJ Durkin conversation to bed today for a second. Atkins, the Auburn defender, the great Auburn defender, with meat left on the bone with his college career, gets asked what it's been like with DJ Durkin as the interim head coach.
What has it been like for him to now have that interim role, and how much are you enjoying playing for him?
It's great, man. Just him to come out and lead a team, get us fired up every weekend, every day, just coming out there being hard on us, practicing with urgent, intentional, just having that type of leader, just making sure we coming out, knowing what we're supposed to do every day, what we're supposed to bring, and what is the standard here at Auburn University.
Yeah, so again, when you say something about the guy who replaced another guy, he's telling us what the standard is here at Auburn, making us practice hard, holding us accountable. When you say all that, it makes it sound like the guy before him wasn't doing any of that.
You can't compliment the new guy without it being an apparent shot at the old guy.
The show being brought to you by our friends at Company Distilling. Great opportunity to try some of this Company Distilling before the holidays roll around, LT.
Yeah, and we're going to be having an event right before the holidays. We've almost got the dates locked in. We'll give you dates, venue, how you guys can get to be a part of that. But Company Distilling, the award-winning spirit, is now available in ABC stores across Alabama. Also adding new states all the time, including Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. Fans can ask their local store to order it in if it's not on the shelf. And the man behind the bottle, Jeff Jeff Arnett, the master distiller at Company Distilling, former master distiller of Jack Daniels. To check out more about this incredible product, go online, companydistilling.com/Alabama.
When it came time to redo the master bath in the Brown house, my wife Jennifer jumped on the internet, scoured the internet looking for the right person for the job. Brad Bell was the guy that she just kept coming back to. Brad was a guy that the name kept coming up. People were like, this guy does good work. His crews do good work. And Brad was the guy that we went with, and I'm so glad we did. He did tremendous work in our master bath, and it's part of his specialty. He specializes in master bath kitchen and master bedroom closets. That is his specialty. And you can see more at alabamabathremodels.com, alabamabathremodels.com. That's a great way to get in touch with Brad and see his work. Or if you just want him to come out and look at your job, give him a call at 205-422-1758, 205-422-1758. Now, the reason I point out that he specializes in master bath kitchen and master bedroom closets is because you live in those rooms. When you have your home, you want them to be big, updated, and functional. When you go to sell your home, you can make a lot of your money back on those rooms because they really pop when people come to look at them. So if you're tired of that outdated room in your house, call Brad now, 205-422-1758 or alabamabathremodels.com.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shinara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shinara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama. No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
Thanksgiving is here, and let the New York Butcher Shop be the place to get all of your holiday meal items. Their premium turkeys are fresh, free-range, and hormone-free. The New York Butcher Shop also has a wide selection of chef-prepared side items to help save you time in the kitchen. Pick up a bottle of wine, and your meal will be complete. Turkeys are selling fast, so place your order today. 2 locations to serve you, in Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Back with you on the next round as we continue on today. Jon Sumrall yesterday, before the college football playoff rankings came out, which ended up being really good for his team, Tulane. They are the highest rated team in the non-power conferences. They are actually ranked. The others aren't. He got asked about being a top 25 team in the college football playoff committee's mind. And here's Jon Sumrall, as only Jon Sumrall can sound.
Do you feel like your team is one of the top 25 teams in the country currently?
I don't know. You know, I hadn't watched that many other people play. I watch us play, and I watch whoever get ready to play. And then after that, I don't really know who else is out there. I mean, I'll just be very candid. There's some days I feel like we're one of the bottom 25 teams in the country watching us play. So, you know, if we want to start feeling comfortable or casual about somebody wanting to vote us in the top 25 teams, there must be a lot of bad football going on if we're one of the top 25 teams. So, I mean, there must be some really bad football played right now in college football. So, I don't know. We're average. We're an average team. We get every 6 or 7 days, depending on the schedule of the week, to promote ourselves or embarrass ourselves. And we've done that before. So we better get ready to play. I watched this practice today. I think we're average.
I love that man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him.
He's my favorite.
I do too. I love him, but I do think they're pretty average. And I think once you get outside of 15, 16 teams in college football this year, you know, as much balance and parity as we've had, it is a lot of average teams on the backside of the top 25 right now.
They're at Temple and they host Charlotte. 2 games they absolutely should win.
Yeah, they will win both those games.
I almost went Temple.
Upset alert.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Charlotte has no shot.
Yeah,
Temple would have a shot, but
it's on the road. I don't think that matters. You're at Lincoln Financial Field. What are they, 10,000 people at that game, maybe? Repeat what you just said about them heading in. They're what group of 5 team?
They're the only ranked.
Only ranked. There is and I did not know this until last night. There is an interesting clause in the tiebreaker in the American Conference. And
if they're ranked, a ranking highest rated.
I'm going to read it to you. The highest ranked of the tied teams. Now, if you go look at the American standings right now, I don't know who everybody's got left to play, but you got 3 1-loss or 4 1-loss teams. So potentially, unless one of them plays one another, you could have 4 1-loss teams at the end of this. If the highest ranked of the tied teams in the latest available CFP Selection Committee rankings doesn't lose in the final weekend of the regular season, so assuming Tulane goes in, they beat Temple, and they don't lose to Charlotte, they are guaranteed a spot in the championship game. So regardless of any other tiebreaker, the way I read their tiebreaks, and there are several of them, if they're the highest ranked, they are automatically in no matter what. So I find that really
makes
interesting.
sense, but what happens if you have a Group 5 that's not ranked? Like, we have a couple of more losses.
They do the separate ranking.
Yeah, they do a separate ranking.
I know, but I mean, how ridiculous is that?
It's
You've got like
ridiculous.
the 30th, maybe the 35th best team in college football is getting in.
I know, but that's the system we have. I don't love it, but that's the system we got.
Dr. B brings you part of the show today before we do our 4 downs. Tell us about Dr. B.
Dr. B, best in the business. If you're starting to thin out, you need to be preemptive here. You need to get aggressive and make sure you make the phone call that I made to Dr. B and his great staff, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. That is it. My hair is more than doubled in thickness. T3's got that test. It's easy, painless, affordable, takes seconds to perform. It's going to show which medicines and compounds will specifically work for your hair loss. There are over 10 categories of agents they use, knowing they will work for you. They will custom compound these agents for you in pill or topical form. Men and women ordering Hims, other products online, don't even know if they work. Stop wasting money and critical time while you're losing hair on treatments that aren't working for you. Go see Dr. Beckenstein and that great staff. Find out what will work. T3hair.net for more information.
All right, and our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, UCA. It's an opportunity for you now as a man aging from your 20s to your 30s, or maybe 30s to 40s, maybe 40s to 50s, or 50s and after. You can stay and find a place that can help you stay on top of your health, and that's what Urology Centers of Alabama has done for 70-plus years here in Central Alabama. 70 years of the top-notch urological care with compassion and unbelievable customer service. 205-930-0920, 930-0920 to schedule an appointment today, or you can visit online, urologycentersalabama.com. Let's do 4 downs.
First down.
Team outside of the top 10 currently in the college football rankings with the best chance to win it all.
Gotta go back to my rankings here. Best chance to win it all, Lance. Currently outside the top 10. Well, I don't like any of them. I guess I got to pick one, though.
I'm sorry, repeat the question again one more time.
Team outside of the top 10 with best chance to win it all.
I mean,
there's the rankings. Scott's got them pulled for you.
You would say Utah, Lance.
Well, I mean,
Lance would say Utah.
I don't know if I'd say Utah because I don't know if Utah's got any chance to get into this thing.
Okay, so they got to get in there.
So you got to find somebody that can get in there.
Jeez, I don't know that anybody can that's outside the top 10. I guess BYU.
If they get in, I think of all those teams, the best chance to win it all is Miami. If they got in.
I just don't know that there's a path to get them in.
I mean, Texas is dead, right?
Yeah, I can't say it. Even beating A&M.
Oh, Texas is dead. I mean, they're
17th.
They're 17th.
Even beating A&M, I don't think you would climb enough.
I mean, there's SC, Vandy. I mean, there's so many teams ahead of them now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a path for Miami to get in there. So, with the spirit of your question, I would say BYU, but I don't think BYU can win it all.
Miami does have a path to get in.
What is it?
Well, I mean, it's.
Well, they're moving up about 3 every week.
Yeah.
So next week they'll be 10, then they'll be 7.
We've only got 2 more.
Well, I mean, that dilemma when you've got a 10-2 Miami and you've got a 10-2 Notre Dame, if they said it is a significant point head-to-head if we get to that a situation, and there's a good chance you're going to get to that situation.
I just don't know how you go this whole time and say we've ignored that outcome, but now that we're at the final rankings, we're going to pay attention to that outcome.
He told you last night we have not compared that yet.
Yeah,
we have not compared that.
Why in the hell have you not? They played the game 2 months ago.
From Hunter Yurachek last night, we really haven't compared Miami and Notre Dame. That said, if both teams were to end up in a comparable tier, then head-to-head will be a significant point. He goes on to say another time that Miami just needs to keep winning, and it'll be good news for them. Here, I'm trying to find an exact quote there, but he said something to that nature. All Miami has to do is keep winning, and it'll be good for them.
Do you think there's anybody out there that thinks the selection committee is a good idea? This is, when I say that college football does everything they can to screw this up, and they always land on their feet, this selection committee is doing everything they can to screw this up.
There's so much carnage that we haven't seen yet. Yeah. Like, I mean, there's probably 6-7 teams in the top 15 that are still going to lose.
This selection committee is idiotic.
See, I'm and you guys used to tell me when we did radio.
Okay.
Back in that small, dark studio, y'all would always tell me, Jim, automatic bids. I want the 16 best teams.
Well, I do.
I want the 12 best teams. I want the 4 best teams. Automatic bids.
It's not the answer.
Just give me set number Big Ten, set number SEC, a lesser number but set number of Big 12 and ACC, one group of 5, and Notre Dame. You want to stay independent, stay independent. If you want to join the league, join the league. But there's no path for you to play unless you join the league. And then we do it like the NFL. Whoever finishes in the top 4 of the SECs in the playoffs. Top 4 of the Big Ten's in the playoff. Top 2 in the Big 12's in the playoff. Top 2 in the ACC.
That's a mistake.
How? Yeah, how's that different?
Well, I think at least you're winning. You're accomplishing something. Like you could be that 4 team, even in the Big Ten this year, and have 3 or 4 losses.
Yeah, but you're 4th in the Big Ten, so you get your spot, and then you're going to play.
Okay, but if you win the ACC, you get your spot.
Yeah, you do.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think that we should have the auto bids. I don't know about the Group 5 anymore.
Yeah, so your top 4 in the SEC right now, let's assume everybody wins this next week. It'll be Texas A&M, Georgia, Ole Miss, Alabama.
Yeah. Now this scenario would have that play-in Saturday we've talked about where 6 is playing 3, 5 is playing 4, So there's your first round of the playoffs within your own league.
Well, can I make a point that if Vanderbilt loses to Tennessee, your next spot up would be Oklahoma and Texas tied with one another, which would put Texas in front of Oklahoma. I mean, now we're doing worse teams. And then if you get an Alabama, let's say Alabama loses the Iron Bowl, you get Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas tied.
Are you telling me Texas is worse than Oklahoma?
I think right now they are, yeah.
Well, then why do we even play the early part of the season?
Well,
we should just play right now. Let's just put everybody in.
That's what I'm asking the committee.
In November.
That's what I'm asking the committee.
Nobody do anything in September and October. We just start the tournament in November and everybody's in.
We're ignoring a game
if those games don't count in September and October.
And I do think Texas is better than Oklahoma.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
I do too.
But I mean, they've got 3 losses. So
why did they play Ohio State? If they just played, No,
you're right. I mean,
Rice. Why not play Rice?
I mean, Harp didn't really have
I
an answer there.
disagreed with Harp on that. I disagreed with Harp. Since Jim is right on this.
Yeah. I mean, if they would have played UTS and they've got UTSA and they've got 2 losses right now, Texas is in.
Yeah.
If Alabama has 1 loss and they play somebody outside of Florida State, they are in.
Yeah. I mean, why schedule? I mean, look at the future schedules for all the SEC. Why the hell play them?
Yeah.
Why are you going to 9 games?
It's going to be a huge talking point in the offseason.
Lance was not here yesterday, but we gave the 2027 Georgia schedule. 9 SEC games.
Yep.
Louisville, Florida State, Georgia Tech out of conference. So they play 9 SEC games and 3 ACC games.
Yeah.
That's as it stands right now if they don't cancel it.
There's a couple you can do where it's a 9 SEC, Ohio State, and another pretty good team for Alabama very soon. Ohio State, 9 SEC, and another good
I thought
game.
these were, I think we all agreed these were good ideas a couple of years ago when we were expanded to 12 because it seemed like absorb the second, maybe third loss. It wasn't that big of a deal, but now I would completely reevaluate, and I would go to the Eli Drinkwitz scheduling model.
Because here's the thing, dude.
The Mark Stoops model.
Yeah, I would.
I'm telling you, I know you guys don't want it, but just go automatic bids. Just play only SEC games.
Right.
Just play only SEC games. Play only Big Ten games. And do you know what the postseason is going to be? That's when we see the big cross-intersectional matchups, like we used to never see American League and National League in baseball until the World Series. Can you imagine? The only time we see an SEC team play anybody else outside of the conference is either in a bowl game, the meaningless bowl games, the exhibitions, or the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then just you have it all NFL-like inside your league.
But then the debate begins. We beat the hell out of each other. I've lost so many players this year.
We were talking in the last break. Next year, Alabama plays an SEC game this week. I mean, imagine that. Go look at the SEC teams Alabama hasn't played yet. It could be Texas A&M. Could be Florida. If you got lucky, I don't know what it is. But next year, Alabama's got an SEC game right here. Like, they are on incredibly thin ice with a trip to Auburn on the horizon. And, by the way, would have to play an SEC game this week.
Yeah. So what happens next year if you got all the SEC's got 3 losses except for 1 team?
I don't know.
Or 2 teams. Is the SEC only going to get 2 in? Does that seem fair?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's where the automatic bids. You just, no matter what the record is, you got 4 teams in. My belief.
Second down.
Like the NFL.
Carson Beck, 23 years old today. Carson Beck, ultimately more wins for Beck's FBS career or his NFL career. By the way, right now he's 32-5.
Oh, I will 100% bet on his college career. I mean, 32 wins as a starting quarterback. I know that doesn't sound like a lot.
Well, it's going to be a little bit more. So let's just say that he
35.
gets. Let's say he gets 36. That'd be 4 9-win seasons as a starting quarterback.
Do you know how hard that is to do as an NFL starting quarterback? So I will definitely take his college
I do
career.
think he'll end up being an NFL starting quarterback. I just don't know how good he's going to be. But I would take what bird in hand here with the
I'd take college career.
30
I would
plus.
too. I would too.
Yeah.
Give me that one.
Third down.
Jody Foster, 63 years old. Meg Ryan, 64. Ultimately better career. Jody Foster, Meg Ryan. It's really not even close, but 2 birthdays were there. So
nobody ever tried to kill a president because of Meg Ryan.
That is absolutely correct. Tyler is accurate on that.
She's won so many awards, too. Best Actress included for Silence of the Lambs.
Movie I like that many probably would not. Mel Gibson, Jodie Foster, James Garner, Maverick. The
Never
remake
saw
of
it.
Maverick. You never seen it, Jim? Have you seen it? Yeah, I like that's probably peak Jodie Foster too. That's probably the best she ever looked. She keeps it's old riverboat gambling days, so they've got the tight dress bustier that, lifts stuff up.
I'm sure she did not like playing that part.
Probably not. I mean, it seemed like an uncomfortable dress.
Yeah.
But, of course, she's the love interest of both, well, spoiler alert, James Garner and Mel Gibson in the movie.
But she's one of the few, child actresses that actually made it out and made it through all the stardom and was able to keep everything straight. But she's directed films, and she was, I thought, really good in True Detective, the latest season. So I would go. I would go.
Yeah, I think it's Foster. Yeah.
Fourth down.
A couple of more celebrity birthdays here. Larry King would have been 93 years old today. Calvin Klein is 83 today. Better career, Larry King, Calvin Klein.
I never wore Larry King.
That's a good point.
A lot of gold diggers did.
Yeah, 7 women, I believe, wore Larry King.
Boy, and they didn't like it. Didn't fit well, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm going to go Calvin Klein.
Yeah, I think got to go Calvin Klein. I do think Larry King for a minute, though,
he had a good career.
He was probably thought of as maybe the best interviewer, for a short amount of time.
It's funny.
I mean, I never really liked his style.
I didn't either, and he was renowned for it, which I don't understand this, not doing prep. Like, that was his thing, is I don't really prep for the interview. I interview it just like the guy on the street without any prep would do. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the best approach, but I guess it
never
was.
understood why he did that.
What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Oh, I don't have my play card out here, so don't know what he's gonna take a shot at me.
I'm just gonna react. I'm a reactor. I'm the reactor.
I'm not doing interviews like
I have worked with a handful of people that weren't big preppers.
Yeah. I mean, I like Dunaway does the prep. I react to the prep. But for an interview, Tyler,
no, don't say it like that.
What?
He does
Lance and Jim
does more prep than I do.
Okay, Lance and Jim do the preparation. I'm the reactor.
You're the Larry King.
I'm Larry. No,
wear your suspenders tomorrow.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
For the interviews,
for any of us up here to be criticizing Larry King's style, I found it a little ironic.
For the interviews, I do prep. Jim, James.
Yeah.
He's the one that asked Jerry Seinfeld about his show getting canceled, and Seinfeld's like, canceled?
We're number one.
We're the most successful sitcom in the history of television.
Do you remember the soundbite?
What soundbite?
That soundbite.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a big viral moment with Larry King.
Yeah, I know. Where he's making a fool of himself.
You never get that moment.
He really asked that question.
Oh, 100%. You remember it, don't you?
Yeah. There was another one where he's interviewing an actor and he's talking about, well, what luxuries would you like to have? And the guy's just like, I like really good coffee and nice socks. And Larry King's like, well, why don't you have a private jet? And the guy responds, Larry, I'm on DuckTales. Like, you only get that with zero prep.
Yeah, that's right.
It's funny, but
6 years of television, you're going to fall into some cracks. You're going to mess up every now and then.
Maybe so. Okay.
Yeah. He's dead now.
He is.
Would have been 93.
Don't know if you prepared for that or not. It is my big takeaway of, I think it was Auburn, Florida State. That national, I had to fly out, not the day after, but the day after, and I was on Rodeo Drive, and he was crossing the street with a helper and almost an IV, something he was having to carry with him on a stroller. He looked dead then.
Oxygen, probably.
Yeah, it probably was oxygen. All right, that is 4 Downs. Show being brought to you by a ton of people today, including our friends at Central State Bank.
That is the bank that is big enough to meet every single need you have, but also small enough to know you. It is our friends at Central State Bank. Central State Bank has been doing this for more than 100 years, and here's what they're built on. True to what matters, personal service, local decisions, lasting relationships. That's what makes them large enough to serve you, small enough to know you, rooted in community, driven by relationships. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
And we will be on the road tonight. Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night, the original location at Crestline. We will be out there, me and Brown. We start a little after 8 o'clock. Get there early, enjoy some of the great food from Rodney Davis. Been doing it almost 4 decades. Award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light, the Odie's Famous Cup cocktails. Come out and see us tonight. 2 locations, live music every Thursday, Friday. Original location at Crestline. Newest location right there in Edgewood. It's a Birmingham institution. It's Odie's Tavern.
Yesterday when Lane Kiffin was on McAfee, he used Kewan Lacey as a prop. Had him waiting off of camera when it got to a uncomfortable coaching carousel question. He brought Kewan Lacey in to sort of shake the keys and distract everyone and flip the conversation. Ole Miss's players, Patrick Kutas and Deshaun Stribling, getting asked about the distractions of what's going on with Lane Kiffin and everything that's out there with them in the hunt of maybe the most historic season in Ole Miss football history.
Obviously, Saturday night to today, there's been a lot of emotions, a lot of stuff going around. Just for y'all, what's the mood and the vibe been in the building?
Oh, we try to keep the mood up, keep the vibes good, keep the energy at the same level that we've been keeping it the whole year, because we know what we have in front of us and we all want to achieve the same goal. So we're not letting anything distract us. We're just keeping it head on, straightforward, putting the blinders on.
There's obviously a lot of noise out there. I mean, are y'all good at keeping that quiet right now?
Yeah, noise is just noise. We try to focus on what we're doing here. And the only thing that matters is winning on Saturday.
From the outside, like kind of Jake asked, it's all like distraction. But what's the key to, Lane sort of said like, hey, internally it's not a problem. Is that how you feel, and kind of what's the key?
Obviously you're going to have people talking about it and bringing it up, but like I said, we all know what we need to achieve, what we have to get done. So really, just got to get off social media. That's it.
That sucks. It sucks for Ole Miss fans. If you're younger than 70, think about what I'm about to say right here. If you're younger than 70, this is probably the greatest football season in Ole Miss history in your lifetime that you can remember. And you're having to deal with this. How about does that suck for the fan?
It does suck. Now, here's the good news, though. If he doesn't take one of these jobs, he's probably a lifer. Probably.
I would agree.
So it's almost like if I was Ole Miss, I wouldn't push back because he is so petty. It's almost like I would let this thing play out, because if he does stay, I think he's yours forever, and that's exactly who you want.
I think you're to the point, Jim. If he passes on Florida and LSU, you're realistically, the only two that would worry you is if it doesn't work out for Kalen DeBoer and Alabama ever came calling, or if Sark, who's seemingly more and more every day unhappy at Texas, if it doesn't work out there, do they come calling?
NFL possibly.
Maybe the NFL. But when you say those are the only two college jobs.
If you're not going to take LSU or Florida, I don't think he would. I don't think he would take Bama.
Oh, you don't think Lane Kiffin would take? I think he would crawl to Alabama.
I would have said that, but I'm just saying if it comes now that he passes on both LSU and Florida, the reason would be he obviously loves Oxford. I don't know why he hasn't gone on and locked that down, though, outside of, leveraging.
I think he likes having the attention focused on him. He's literally holding up.
But he could tell
Ole Miss, Florida, and LSU right now.
You're right. It is the attention, because he could say this and they would agree, right? Hey, look, I'm going to go on and lock in, but what I want going into after this coaching cycle all plays out, I want to be the highest paid coach in college football. They would agree with that.
He's going to be. He's going to be.
Brown points that out a lot, that he's going to be, and that's a no-brainer. He's going to be at this point wherever he ends up. What has Lane done wrong?
What do you mean, what's he done wrong?
Everybody acts like Lane is holding everybody up. Lane's holding everybody hostage. What's Lane done wrong?
I think hostage is that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that but you would admit to me that he is the domino that is holding up both the LSU and the Florida job.
You will admit, is that Lane's fault?
Not necessarily, but he does love attention.
I think he loves
that.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and tweet out the things you tweet out unless you love attention.
But his family going to tour Gainesville and Baton Rouge, would y'all take a job without having at least a family member go to see if they like the area, if they found a place they'd like to live? Would you take a job?
No, but I got to make sure that I don't know if it was Andy Staples or was it Roman, somebody that was talking about, hey, Layla's from Florida. She should be able to go back there and do what she wants. Not during this time.
Her dad was David Reeves, is her father, that was a Florida legend, and
but I'm just saying, the timing based on the conversation, we need to stay away from Florida if I'm not interested in taking this job.
But if I'm considering a job,
if you're
Lane
considering,
Kiffin's considering a job right now, and I've got to make my choices, and I know this is weird, but why would we not want to, even Lane himself, to go down to Baton Rouge and take a look at a neighborhood and see, or to go visit a high school where Knox could play high school football? You would be doing your family a disservice if you didn't go and check that out. If Terry Saban really did go to Austin back in the day, why would they not? Who would take a job? They do it all the time. Kalen DeBoer took the Alabama job without ever coming to Tuscaloosa. But I have no problem with family wanting to go see, this Gainesville neighborhood, this is where we'd live. Do we really like this school for Knox and Baton Rouge? Is he going to be happy here? Knox, what do you think? You want to go? I mean, you can't do that remotely. You can't do that from somewhere else.
I think we all know multiple people who have moved to Birmingham, where we live, obviously, out of necessity. Like, their job told them you had to do it, and they fell in love with Birmingham. Like, they didn't know what to expect. They may not have been real excited about it, but they have fallen in love with Birmingham. And I'm sure there's the opposite, too. People that moved here and hated it. I can't imagine. I'm with you. I can't imagine having to, we're fortunate in what we've done, that we've controlled where we live. I can't imagine having to uproot and move anywhere. I can't. I mean, even
if you got a job offer and you were like considering staying here or having to move to Charlotte, North Carolina, would you not go up and check out Charlotte, North Carolina first?
Yeah, absolutely. But I
so what did the Kiffins do wrong this weekend?
I just think, you got to try to play it on the down low. Now, whether or not you can get away with that.
I think they did.
Well, yeah, you can't keep anything
I think
secret.
he is pretty familiar with Baton Rouge and Gainesville, I would assume.
I think he probably knows.
Not the program, but the other stuff, the stuff that matters, where Knox is going to go to school, where the family's going to live. I mean, I'd want to go check that stuff out.
Yeah, I'm with Lance. Like, I would kind of like to think you would say, hey, look, there's going to be a lot of people watching. Just drive down there. I know they'll fly us, but I mean, I guess I'm kind of with you. Like,
Alyssa Lang reported that
Alyssa Lang said this?
Alyssa Lang on Sirius XM said, I'm covering the LSU game this past weekend, and I had 5 or 6 people walk up to me and say, hey, the Kiffins are flying down tonight at midnight.
Yeah, nobody kept that a secret.
Who it wasn't the Kiffins that were leaking that out. It was LSU that was leaking that out.
But I also don't think, I don't think Lane Kiffin minds that it got leaked.
You know how the cameras ended up at the airport?
They told him what time of the plane was landing.
Maybe it's Jimmy Sexton that did that. They're up the price at Ole Miss or at Florida or at
LSU.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying Lane Kiffin's doing anything wrong. I'm just saying that that if you're, he's not doing anything wrong at all.
Don't blame the monkeys if you don't like the circus.
But I also think that he absolutely loves
I think
every
both
bit
these
of
things
this.
are true. I think he likes the attention, but he's not necessarily doing anything wrong to get that attention. I mean, those both can be true, right? And don't act like, and not that Lane has done this.
You do agree that he likes the attention.
Yeah, Lane. He loves the attention, yeah.
Which is why I think Jon Sumrall's not a good fit at Ole Miss. Because you're now a fan base that you have embraced the circus.
I think as long as you're winning, I don't think they care.
I agree, but I do think if you had a guy that was a little more circus, it probably fits in better following Lane Kiffin. But is he as good a coach as Sumrall? That's what you don't know.
But why do you think Florida would be excited about Lane Kiffin?
Because they would have a semblance of an offense finally.
Yeah,
it would be more like the Spurrier days.
Yeah, not just the visor, but Lance is right. It's an offensive coach, and that's. When has Florida won big recently? Steve Spurrier, Urban Meyer. What did those two guys have in common? They ran a good offensive system, good offensive coaches.
When we come back, we'll do Whacked Out Wednesday and some more college football, more reaction to last night's college football playoff rankings. The show being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
205-969-8100. That is the number that I called. Make sure you ask for Amy Toe. The next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. I've got the 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Hey, I'm sorry, Lance. When you are considering your holiday parties, make Bojangles your one-stop for catering. How about this? The fried chicken, the chicken tenders, the sides, the bow bites, the biscuits, the sweet tea. Everybody will love it. And don't forget those bow bites right now. Hand-breaded chicken tenders, peach honey pepper dipping sauce. And you can get those right now at your local Bojangles. Or if you're headed out to the high school football games for tailgating in the playoffs, college football tailgating in Tuscaloosa or Auburn, the college football watch parties, Bojangles can handle that for you as well. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, Christmas parties, holiday parties, tailgating, college football watch parties, it can all be Bo time.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama. No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
What are you waiting for?
It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459 exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
This hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Get by and see Sterling and the crew. If you haven't done it at least once this football season, shame on you. Shame on you that you have not had the best fried chicken you'll ever taste, in my opinion, while you're watching college football on Saturday. It is a delicacy, and he works so hard to make sure it's delivered excellently, perfectly. A 10 out of 10 every time you go into Champy's. It's brined overnight. It's cooked to order. It is juicy all the way down to the bone. The chicken fingers are huge, hand-cut chicken fingers. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales with just a hint of heat. In-house made desserts and sides. It's all fantastic right there at champy'schicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Listen, Scott Forrester does so much 24 hours a day on our social media platforms. And even while this show is going on, he'd already given me 15 cuts today after giving me 17 cuts yesterday and 18 cuts on Monday. While the show's going on, James Franklin has landed in Blacksburg, Virginia, has gotten off. He has gone to a news conference, and now he has addressed the folks there in Hokie Nation. He has entered like a Sandman, and he's telling you now why he is the right guy for the job at Virginia Tech.
Got my first big break in the ACC. Been a head coach in the SEC, been a head coach in the Big Ten, and now obviously fortunate to have this unbelievable opportunity in the ACC at Virginia Tech. But all these experiences, all these lessons that I've learned, we're going to pour them into Virginia Tech. And I feel like it's going to put us in a really specific position to separate ourselves over a ton of different schools. There's very few head coaches that have had the experience in the SEC, in the Big Ten, and the ACC. And we're going to use all those experiences and resources for the betterment of Virginia Tech.
Yeah. I love this hire, by the way. Love this hire.
More and more. When you first of all, that our buddy Bruce Arians was part of the part of the search and part of their group, the council that put together how they're changing the NIL and the money being spent at Virginia Tech towards football, how they're upping the ante there. I like that you've got a good football minds there and the money people all now working together, and you bring in a guy that wins football games.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is this guy wins double-digit games every year, and, the biggest Achilles heel has been beating ranked teams. The good news is you don't play any ranked teams in the ACC.
That's right.
So I do think that they needed to go out and get a proven winner. I think it's a difficult job with them having more of a commitment to the NIL. We'll see what direction this thing goes. But if anybody's going to win there, I think he's got a fighting shot.
Just strip it away. Strip away names. Let's go faceless, nameless opponent, okay? Strip away faces and names. Y'all go back to this time last year, and I tell you, Brent Pry is not going to work out long-term at Virginia Tech. You'd be like, yeah, I kind of fear that. And I said, but good news, Virginia Tech's going to hire a coach from this year's college football playoff semifinals. You would have laughed me off the show.
I would have
you
thought,
would have laughed me off the show.
I would have thought Rhett Lashley, Kenny Dillingham.
I said semifinals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not playoffs. Semifinals, Jim.
So you had
you wouldn't have
Sark,
known. Yes.
Day,
Franklin, and Freeman. You wouldn't have known who it was when I said it 1 year ago today. You wouldn't even known the coaches that were going to be in the semifinals yet. But just the fact that I told you Virginia Tech was going to hire a coach from this coming season's college football semifinals, you would have laughed me off the show. And that's exactly what they just did.
Yeah, I would have thought a Big 12 team made it there.
Yeah, somehow stumbled in.
Yeah.
And then you'd have been like, I don't know why he's leaving that school for Virginia Tech, but okay.
Yeah.
No, this guy, I love this hire. It's a fantastic hire.
What if for the first thing he was like, we're not doing Enter Sandman
anymore. I've always hated that song.
Yeah, we're changing.
I'm a Megadeth guy.
Yes.
And we're going to replace the cool-looking rocks that we walk out from, the Tech Stones, and do something different. Before we get to our spotlight, back to the college football playoffs. And people keep saying, why is everyone worried about Alabama? Because they're in right now. They're in everybody's bracket. I mean, show us a bracket. Pick any bracket for us, or show us a bracket again. They're in anybody's bracket right now, absolutely. The fear is if there is you're the last one in, basically, when you count the placeholder Miami ACC champion and Group of 5 Tulane. So you're the last at large when you're 10. So you're not comfortably in. You're the last team in. Going by the NCAA tournament basketball model, you are on the right side of the bubble, but you're on the bubble. So you don't want to be on the bubble. That's where the nervousness is. Though I am familiar with the old saying, you know what they call the person with the lowest grades that graduates from grad school? You know what they call him?
What's that?
Doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah, from med school? Yeah, doctor. There's an opportunity for Alabama to still be in the playoffs if they beat Auburn. Absolutely. But fear.
But you know what they call the tallest midget in the world still, right?
Yeah.
A midget.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this Alabama place is precarious at best right now. You look at the playoffs, all of a sudden now it looks like Alabama not even will host a game.
Probably not.
That was the one thing leaving the stadium. Well, now we'll at least get to host a first-round playoff game. Now it's hard to imagine them not playing on the road.
I would agree.
For the first round of playoffs.
Unless they go to Atlanta and win. I think if you're the SEC champion,
oh, yeah,
you've got a lot of upward mobility. I don't know that you're going to get back to the bye situation. I don't even think winning an SEC championship game will get you back to the bye. Do you?
I don't think, but I mean, I guess it depends.
You would have beaten Texas A&M likely at that point.
Yeah.
So if A&M
or Georgia,
and you have a win over Georgia already,
or Georgia, and that could be 2 wins over Georgia. There are only 2 losses.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what is the better opportunity if A&M loses to? If they both have 1 loss at the end of the year, is it A&M or Georgia?
What do you mean?
I'm talking about two that would be playing Alabama. Obviously, Alabama beats Auburn. They're playing in the SEC championship game.
Most likely. Andy said that as a definitive. It's not a
I read that.
definitive.
I read that somewhere too. Though.
It's not definitive at this point.
No, the percentages are most likely matchup Texas A&M Alabama. Second most likely matchup Alabama Georgia. Yeah. But there is a scenario that it's Texas A&M Georgia.
Yeah, there are outcomes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is that scenario based on
A&M losing? No.
A&M losing to A&M.
No, there are outcomes that benefit Georgia. But listen, it's a very narrow path. The most likely scenario right now, if everybody wins the rest of their games, is Alabama playing Texas A&M. But there are pathways that benefit Georgia where it's Georgia, Texas A&M. And if A&M falls off, if they lose to Texas and end up in that four-way tie, it's probably because there's not a all-around head-to-head. It's going to come down to strength of schedule, and you know who that's not going to benefit at all is A&M. It's going to end up being Bama and Georgia.
It would take a lot. I think Alabama could still work their way into a bye.
Okay. Yeah. So you still think that's alive. So there you go. So there's your path to either hosting or – and we've never – this is only year 2 on this. So we've never seen how they handle the conference champions when they don't get an automatic bye, Jim. Do they still figuratively get one,
A lot of words there to get to me setting up point spreads from FanDuel and what the first round matchups would be as the committee put them last night. Tulane would play at Texas Tech the way it laid last night. What's that point spread in Lubbock? Average. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're the bottom 25 Tulane playing Texas Tech.
I would list Texas Tech 21.5.
21.5 is the number right here. Now I'm going to pull this up and make sure you're not peeking.
I would not do that.
Yeah, Texas Tech 21.5 from FanDuel. Notre Dame on the road at Oklahoma now. As we had it last night.
Man, I would go just because Oklahoma would be the home team. I'm going to say Oklahoma 1.
They have Notre Dame 3.5-point favorites.
They're
on
a better
the road
team.
at Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, I would lay the 3.5. I just thought that they might list the home team as a favorite there.
Miami's not really in this. They're only the ACC placeholder, but they listed Miami at Ole Miss.
I would say Ole Miss is a 7-point favorite.
FanDuel lists Ole Miss as a 3.5-point favorite if they're playing Miami. But to your point, it ain't going to be Miami. It's going to be either Georgia Tech or Virginia at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss at home versus the ACC champion. Give me everything I've got on Ole Miss.
3.5's light on that number.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Give me everything I got.
And then you saw the bracket. We finally get that Alabama-Oregon game everybody's wanted since 2010. You finally get it, but Alabama's having to go to Autzen. What's that point spread?
They've won 19 of 20 in Autzen. Tough place to play. I would say it's a pick.
FanDuel lists Oregon as a 4.5-point favorite.
That's crazy.
That Oregon team.
Give me the other side.
Yeah, I don't know where they're getting that.
Yeah. That may be this may be the weakest Oregon team I've seen.
I think Oregon's defense is really good.
But I mean, because I was going to say earlier,
is Oregon's defense really good, or do they look really good because they're playing against Big Ten teams?
Yeah, maybe.
No offense to the Big Ten, but I mean this offensively.
Yeah,
your offense sucks.
I was going to say this earlier. Like when Scott showed that bracket, I kind of like that path for Alabama.
Yeah.
You're at Oregon and you play Indiana in a neutral site. I kind of like that path.
How many did Indiana score in Autzen against Oregon?
26, maybe. Yeah. I'll tell you right now.
Like that's the best offense they've placed, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Hold them to 26. That's pretty darn good.
30, actually 30 to 20.
When Scott's got that back up right there, I'm not crazy about Ohio State's path.
No, Ohio State.
You get the winner in Notre Dame, Oklahoma. Yeah. Notre Dame's playing really well. Oklahoma has got a defense that gives everybody fits. Everybody. And you haven't played a defense like that since Texas.
If you tell me Alabama's in and that's the bracket, I'll take Alabama going to Oregon. That's worth the fight right there. By the way, again, it's loud in SEC stadiums. It's not going to shock the SEC that the stadium is loud. All 67,000 of them.
What's Kalen DeBoer's record versus Dan Lanning?
Oh, that's another point. I'd forgotten about that.
I thought about that last night when that bracket popped up. I was like, well, Kalen DeBoer ain't scared.
Well, and that's another thing. And Brooks, I'm glad you brought that up because that is something that Vegas would factor into this. I think those are some random numbers that were thrown out.
Then Indiana, neutral site. would prefer to play in Bloomington, but neutral site. And then you're getting either Texas A&M, who ain't played nobody, Ole Miss, or the ACC champion. Yeah, sign that path up right there. If you got to play 3 to get to a championship game, take that right now. Go ahead and lock that one in. There'll be no bitching and moaning at all.
Oh, no. I don't think there's going to be bitching and moaning anyway as long as Alabama wins and gets there.
As long as you get in. Got to beat Auburn. Got to beat Auburn first.
Oh, you want a little update on that?
And I don't believe that number, by the way.
Which is?
A little update on got to beat Auburn?
Yeah. The number is.
How can we have an update on got to beat Auburn?
I'm going to update you something about that.
Very surprised if Alabama's not more 8+ when this thing goes off.
It was 6.5 when it started.
From James Spann, for those that don't live here in Birmingham, James Spann, a famous weatherman here. For the biggest game of the year, Alabama at Auburn, Saturday, November 29, 6:30 Central Time. The weather is looking cold and dry with temperatures falling into the 30s during the game. You can play that game in the 30s, boys.
It is Thanksgiving weekend.
I know, but you go bundle up.
It'll be 70 on my couch.
That's right.
I thought you were going to tell me that he was trolling. It was going to be right now. Models are showing there is a chance of snow. I thought that was going to be.
Well, you're going to have the right temperature for it.
We've
but
never had a snow Iron Bowl.
We had a sleet Iron Bowl.
We had the icy one. What was that? 9-0, 9-6, 9-3.
Miserable.
What I was at this Saturday was the closest to that game I've ever been at.
And you were in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Gray's Tree Service for all the dead wood on the show and the dead wood in your yard. Gray's Tree Service.
Gray's the absolute best when it comes to extracting any of the dead wood around the house. You know, from the general, the removal, the trimming, the health. You care for your lawn, care for your trees as well. Make the phone call that I made a couple of years ago, 205-255-1239. John Mark and his crew came out, did a fabulous job. They will come out and give you a free estimate today. They're trusted by nearly every golf course in town of the Birmingham Zoo. No competition. 205-255-1239. You can scan the QR code or just visit graystree.com.
The College Football Spotlight.
It is the Shannara Spotlight. Our guy, Alexander Shannara, brings it to you every single day. Shannara.com is the place you go when you're in need of an attorney. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shannara.com. Shannara.com. And don't forget, you know he handles personal injury cases, but he does much more than that. How about fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, a host of other claims. Again, when you find yourself in need of a lawyer, Alexander Shannara, trial attorney, Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
Whacked out Wednesday when we take a point spread and say it's not nearly enough. So it's whacked out, going in a different direction. For me, I think occasionally this time of year there are distractions about coaches who are looking for other jobs, like Lane Kiffin in his situation. I also think there are distractions for people who are looking for other jobs because they're about to get fired. And more importantly, their assistant coaches are looking for other jobs because they know the head guy is about to get fired. And if the head guy keeps his job, you're going to end up firing a lot of assistants to save his job. So that can be real distraction. What Lane Kiffin is battling is sometimes fabricated distraction. Real distraction is I'm about to be without a job because the guy I'm working for, we have sucked, and we're going to lose a job, or I'm going to get fired to save his job. Now, that's distraction. Now we go on the road, and we play a game, and we're only a 6.5-point underdog. I think whacked out this weekend, Arizona, only a 6.5-point favorite against Baylor. I think that's whacked out. I think Arizona can blow out Baylor. Dave Aranda's in trouble. Dave Aranda's coaching staff is in trouble. Distraction. And by the way, Noah Fafita now, all-time leading scorer in Arizona football history as far as a quarterback.
Oh, how about that?
Yep.
Jim, in their last 3 losses, Dave Aranda's known for coaching what?
Defense.
And their last 3 losses, 42, 41, and 55.
That is not good.
That's not great in Big 12 play. That's why, Jim, my whacked out Wednesday, Arizona.
Wow.
I did not know that.
It's Arizona. We both looked at that, and we're like, yeah, this is not trending in the right direction for Baylor. Their last 3 losses now. In the midst of that, they did beat UCF 30-3. Boy, the Scott Frost return to UCF is off to a horrific start. They're awful. They beat them 30-3, but yeah, they have been lit up in their last 3 losses, and I do think that continues there. I thought you were just going to stick with Washington State, like you were going to be all in on Wazoo this week. That's why he kept it up there.
Hey, how often do you have a 7-3 playing a 4-6 and they're catching 9.5 points? That's what you got in the Big Ten this week as Nebraska heads to Happy Valley to take on Penn State. Interim coach there, backup quarterback on backup quarterback. TJ Lateef hasn't been bad for Nebraska, but I think this is one of those games where it all comes together for Penn State. I think Penn State wins this game by 21+. I like the Nittany Lions.
Wow, all of a sudden on a win streak, Penn State. Yeah.
Terry Smith, very emotional after the win this past week. They've played really good football since he's taken over.
I mean, you know, they should have beaten Indiana. It was a miraculous drive, great catches, great throws from Mendoza. And then they dominated Michigan State. A lot of teams have done that. But I do think they're playing with confidence now, and I think it all comes together.
That's our Whacked Out Wednesday, brought to you by Alexander Shannara. They bring us the spotlight every day on the show. One more thing to get to, brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher. We're going to chop it up about quarterbacks that are being shopped around right now. There's one big name that was in the playoffs last year that apparently is being shopped on the market, not going to return to his school, brought to you by New York Butcher.
The New York Butcher Shop wants to remind you, look, you don't want to make the wife or the girlfriend, the mom get in the kitchen. The New York Butcher Shop will do it all for you this Thanksgiving. They've got the turkeys up right now, the fresh, the smoked, or brine. You can order yours today, 2 locations. We'll give you those numbers in a sec. But also save time in the kitchen with a wide selection of chef-prepared side dishes, from the cornbread dressing, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, sweet potato casserole, the giblet gravy and homemade cranberry sauce, desserts like the pecan pie, apple cobbler, pumpkin pie, peach cobbler. Don't wait until the last minute. Call, get your dinner celebration planned out today. Call Jim and the great staff. Tell them the next round sent you. Cabo Heights, 205-970-7300. Greystone, 205-703-8825. The New York Butcher Shop, well done quality. Right there, 2 locations.
According to reports around the Arizona State program, Sam Levitt is being shopped around to other schools that he is not expected to return 2026 to the Arizona State Sun Devils, even with Kenny Dillingham re-upping out at Arizona State.
His brother sent out a screenshot yesterday of a DM from On3 Sports that was giving his brother a heads up that On3 Pete Nakos was about to report that. And his brother played it off as a denial, but it wasn't really a denial. Basically saying, I don't know why you would say that right now. You know, we're not to that point in the conversation yet. But it wasn't, he didn't say, hey, you are wrong. My brother is staying at Arizona State. I mean, the brother's non-denial denial left the door open that this is a possibility, Lance, that Sam Levitt could leave, and he would be highly coveted in the transfer portal.
I mean, he would be just based on, this year hasn't been terrible. The problem is he hadn't been able to stay healthy. He's only had 8 starts this year, but, he's only thrown 3 interceptions. They are number 25 this week. They're 7-3. It didn't go as well as everything wanted to go, but not only has he been banged up, Jordan Tyson, his number 1 wideout's been banged up.
There's a team that obviously pops to mind that spends the most money on quarterbacks every year now. And it's always one-and-done quarterbacks.
Ohio State?
It's
Indiana?
Miami.
Oh,
Indiana.
Indiana's
one.
I don't know if they spend that much, but Mendoza's going to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
And you've gotten better and better because you went from Rourke in the MAC to Mendoza that you got from the ACC, and now Mendoza's going to be a good chance, wins a Heisman, goes number 1 overall, and it's going to be easier for Cignetti to sell that.
I didn't even think of Indiana, but Indiana's a good example too. But Miami is.
No, you're right.
Miami is
like,
how much do you want?
Yeah.
We need a quarterback every year. How much do you want?
Cam Ward to Carson, back to Sam Levitt. It hasn't worked for Miami. It has worked for Indiana. But yeah, I mean, I think Sam Levitt in the transfer portal will be the most coveted guy. He'll be last year's Cam Ward, or 2 years ago's Cam Ward. I guess the most coveted in the was Carson Beck again, wasn't he? So I guess You're right, Jim. I guess Miami has gotten the most. That's another strike against Cristobal, by the way. 2 straight years he's gotten the most.
Yeah, I mean, you get
most coveted quarterback.
Almost like the number 1 overall pick when you think about it in those terms.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 straight years he's gotten the best quarterback in the portal, and they are not going to make the playoffs in either one of those 2 years, it looks like.
I wonder what other quarterbacks are starting to get shopped around.
Money-wise?
Yeah, like that are at a lower tier that could make money somewhere else if they hit the open market. Because that's where the most money is.
Mestamaker from UNT is going to get massive offers.
I was thinking about, I know it looked a little different this past week at Pitt, but I thought maybe the Pitt quarterback, Heitschel, could do something. But he was 16 of 33, 126 against the best defense he's faced in a while. But there are some young quarterbacks out there that at a lesser division that can start shopping themselves around and get paid. Like, I even wonder about Bird Ficklin and his running ability at Utah. Would he have a market out there?
I'll tell you a guy that if he decided to hit the market is Josh Hoover at TCU. He's got another year left, and I don't know what you think is your upside at TCU. If you just wanted to try it somewhere else, that kid can play.
What about Bear Bachmeier at BYU?
But why would he not stay there?
Yeah,
I think Sawyer Robertson, just because we brought up Aranda. If Aranda,
he's a senior, though, I think.
Well, he's a senior, but he's still got a year
He's got
left.
one more year? Okay,
yeah,
my bad.
Because
He
he's
redshirted?
technically redshirted his freshman year.
Okay, so he's got time left.
I mean, you think anybody would want 6'4", 220-pound Sawyer Robertson?
The nation's leading passer right now. He's got almost 30 touchdowns now. He needs every one of them because their defense is awful.
But, I mean, I would think it would be a natural. Like, you probably try to hire, if you're Baylor, an offensive guy that can come in and keep him. But if not, it's a natural, easy exit strategy.
I did not realize Sawyer Robertson had another year of eligibility. That is my easy answer. If Aranda is out, Sawyer Robertson, if he decided to bail from Baylor, would be the guy that ever Mario Cristobal would be after.
Let me confirm that.
Yeah, pull it up real quick.
His freshman year at Mississippi State.
You're right.
Yeah, 6 of 11.
Yep. He's only appeared in 3 seasons. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a hot commodity.
Yeah, interesting time of year. Now, those are distractions. Those are distractions when your quarterback is getting that, what was it called? Getting pre-portaled is the word.
Pre-portaled is what they call it now?
That's now the phrasing, pre-portaled. When your quarterback and players are getting pre-portaled every night on their cell phone or in their DMs. They're getting pre-portaled.
Portaled.
Yeah, it's not portal season yet. They're getting pre-portal.
I think we call that tampering.
Tampering's against the rules.
Yes, I know.
Pre-portaling, though, is right there within the rules.
Tomato.
When we come back, we will do trash today and take a look at what the BCS computers say in the rankings. How close they are to the selection committee. We know that 99% of the time, the final college football playoff rankings look almost identical to the BCS rankings, the old BCS. Why do we even have humans at all in this day and age? We'll show you what last night's ranking would have looked like just using computers when we come back. The show being brought to you by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. An opportunity right now for you to jumpstart your weight loss. Listen, I was talking to somebody about the lake, planning a lake visit coming up in 2026 the other day, and I was like, hey, this time last year, I'd have been no bueno, but now I've lost a little weight. I'm all in on Lake 2026. If you want to lose some weight, start thinking about the lake bod, the beach bod next year, get a little healthier. Maybe you've got a huge spring coming up. Maybe you want to, walk the Appalachian Trail. Maybe you want to go to Europe and hike through Europe. Do all that in a healthier lifestyle with our friends at Way to Wellness. Leslie and her board-certified team can help you out. Just visit the website at planforme.com, planforme.com. Injection therapy, meal replacements, protein bars, they've got it all for you there at planforme.com, all with no contracts, no sign-up fees, and that first consultation is free. Go check them out. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
This hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Tyler, if you were there, man, what would you get today?
Oh, I'd get a whole spread. I definitely want some of those great chicken fingers, some of the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, probably some baked beans, some potato salad. I'd fill myself up.
We all do.
All good.
We all do. Good job by Tyler there. You can go and get Tyler's order. It's not listed on the menu that way, but just hit us up on social media and we'll tell you what Tyler would eat. And you can go there and eat like Tyler. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Our friends at Champy's Chicken. Brooks, are you doing any work on SEC tiebreaker scenarios yet? You got those for us at all?
Yeah, so I'm in the midst of composing a post to put out right now.
Well, I don't want to steal anything, but can you give us a nutshell? Is Alabama's path pretty clear or not clear?
So based off this simulator website I found, which I was talking to Brown, and he said, don't take it as the gospel.
Well, I've been told that. I don't know that personally, but I've been told
it looks pretty clear from what I'm looking at. If Alabama beats Auburn, the only scenario that I've found that they can miss the SEC championship game is, hang on, this is a lot of dominoes. Florida has to beat Tennessee. Kentucky has to beat Vandy. Arkansas has to beat Missouri. And Texas A&M has to beat Texas and stay as the number one unbeaten team.
And that's the scenario for them to not be in it.
In that case, it would be Texas A&M versus Georgia in the SEC championship.
Yeah. When it gets down to the strength of your schedule, your record, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Florida, two of those three need another win to help out, to hurt Alabama.
Yeah.
Kentucky, Arkansas, and Florida.
Yeah, I mean Alabama, Texas A&M, as we have said, statistically is your most likely matchup if they both continue to win. Now, that's the caveat. They both got to continue to win. Georgia is obviously finished playing SEC games, so they've done all their work. But your most likely matchup right now is still Alabama, Texas A&M, with Alabama.
Who's got the toughest remaining game, A&M or Alabama?
I would say A&M.
A&M's playing the better opponent. Alabama will be in a more difficult environment.
They've got a lot less pressure, too, A&M
That's
does.
right.
And they're playing at Texas.
Yeah, but I'd rather play at Texas than play at Jordan-Hare, wouldn't you, if you were Alabama?
No.
Are you? No. I'm just saying atmosphere-wise. I'm not saying the team you're playing. I'm saying atmosphere-wise. In that situation,
I just think the circumstances do play in, and I think part of it is playing at Jordan-Hare, but the fact that the pressure is 1,000% on Alabama.
It is.
And A&M just doesn't have nearly as much
Though,
pressure.
Texas has no pressure either, though.
They're playing spoiler. That's all they're playing right now.
I mean, can we find a path of attrition that gets Texas back in this thing?
Ooh, good luck.
I mean, I don't want it, but I'm saying there probably is, though.
Ooh, I don't know.
Duke still has got one wild scenario case to get to the ACC championship
Do you
game
guys
with 5 losses.
remember back in the dark ages when we only had 2 teams? Do you remember some of the final conference championship Saturdays where 4 or 5 teams would lose, and it would be like, how did the number 6 team, how are they playing for the national championship now?
2007 was, I think that was the year
insane.
when LSU won it with two losses.
I'll give you Texas climbing back up in the next 2 weeks. Here you go. Georgia Tech loses to Georgia. Very likely. Not very likely, but
Very
likely. Okay, very likely. USC loses at Oregon.
Very likely.
Vanderbilt loses to Tennessee.
Likely.
Miami loses to Pitt.
Likely.
Who does Utah have? I don't know who Utah has left.
They've got nobody.
They're playing really well.
Yeah.
All those teams are in front of Texas. That would at least get Texas up to 13. Then if BYU lost the conference championship, that would bump them up one more, but you would need Utah to lose in front of you. So Utah's going to have to drop a game.
Wow, do you really think 2-loss Utah? And look, I think they're right there with Texas. I think they're equivalent teams. Do you think 2-loss Utah would get in front of 3-loss Texas?
2-loss Utah, 3-loss Texas?
I don't think it would ever get to that discussion because the teams ahead of them would – the automatic bids and stuff. You got to rise all the way to top 10 to be in the at-large conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I can only get them to 11. I mean, Texas probably also needs Alabama to lose the Iron Bowl. So that's your path there. Or if Oklahoma loses to Missouri, that
But again, they can't bitch. You lost 3 times.
That's right. It's Texas is the reason they're not there.
Yeah, that was my one takeaway from last night that I wrote down in stone was Texas is out.
It looks like it
does
dropping
look
7
like
spots.
I mean, I gave you a path that wasn't crazy upsets to get them there, but they're going to need all those things to happen.
And I wonder if the fourth quarter goes decently, or differently. If it was at 14-10 going into the fourth quarter, if you lose a 1-possession game in Athens,
maybe you don't drop 7 spots.
Yeah, you probably drop 3 or 4 spots. You still got a fighting shot.
And I think another thing I wrote in stone last night was that James Madison and the Sun Belt champion is not in the conversation. They keep putting one American Conference team after another, despite them losing. It was Memphis.
Yeah.
Memphis lost, and it was South Florida. South Florida lost. Now it's Tulane.
So
you know who's never sneaking in there? The Sun Belt leader, James Madison.
So even the nightmare ACC scenario, you don't think is going to be bad enough to get James Madison in there?
They keep putting the American ahead of them.
Yeah.
Like if Tulane were to lose this weekend, you know who's going to be there next week? North Texas.
Yep.
Like, do you think even an undefeated MAC team would be in the mix right now?
Not if we're taking strength of schedule. More on that strength of schedule conversation after LT tells us about our friends at Hemp Hill Services.
205-229-2090. That is the number that I've called way too many times. But look, if you have plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Whether you experience the plumbing, heating, or cooling issues, call Adam, Chad, Andrew. The guys there. Hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Brownie, the SEC teleconference is ongoing, and there seems to be a common theme among the SEC coaches today. Remember down at the SEC meetings where we were discussing 9 conference games, the discussion was nobody's going to sign off on 9 SEC games in the future unless we're guaranteed that strength of schedule is a deciding factor in the college football playoffs. That's the only reason we would add a 9th game if you're going to count in strength of schedule.
Eli Drinkwitz today on the coaches teleconference. We were promised a strength of schedule metric was going to be added, and that simply didn't happen. Shane Beamer today on the SEC coaches teleconference. We were told the College Football Playoff Committee was going to have added value to strength of schedule to the rankings. If that's not going to happen, as it was stated it would, get ready, then going to 9 games is only going to hurt us going forward. There's a sitting SEC coach saying it out loud that if we don't get the strength of schedule, we have screwed up going to 9 games.
I mean, you got to
They're exactly right.
Yeah.
They're exactly right. That's why I asked Roman that question.
Yeah.
Why are we scheduling this way? Why do you not just go 8 conference games? Why don't you play the 4 easiest teams you can play, and let Joel Klatt's head explode, and he can cry all he wants to, but you're not being rewarded for it if you lose the games.
Aaron Suttles and I spoke at the Huntsville Quarterback Club last night. Thanks to them for inviting us, and it's a great group. And as Aaron was wrapping up his portion of it, they dropped the rankings, so we shared them with the audience there. And the first question, it started the Q&A. The first question, guy raises his hand and says, why again are we going to 9 games in the SEC? I mean, it was the first question after those rankings were unveiled. And I'm like, you know, as a consumer, I look at it, look at this week in TV. I mean, Jim, you print this thing off.
It's horrible.
The SEC is just, it's a horrific week.
No, but it hurts the whole week. It hurts the whole week.
I mean, the whole week is terrible. You got Missouri, Oklahoma, which is a good game. Arkansas, Texas, which is a good game. I can't even sell you on Tennessee, Florida being a good game.
But I mean, these could have been really good games, you know? Like
could have been. But we also, Lance, have Charlotte and Georgia, Coastal Carolina and South Carolina, Western Kentucky and LSU, Alabama and Eastern Illinois, Auburn and Mercer, all in the same week.
That's disgusting.
We can't have this.
Yeah.
We can't have this.
But I mean, the biggest games last week. I mean, they tried to make us believe that Notre Dame and Pitt was the biggest game in the country last week.
Yeah, well, but one coach was saying the game didn't even matter.
I don't know how for a couple of minutes.
I don't know how they were selling us on that.
I mean, outside of the SEC, the biggest game in the country last week was Notre Dame, Pitt, Iowa, USC. Those were the biggest games in the country. I mean, does that even compare to Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma, Alabama? Crap, does it even compare to South Carolina, Texas A&M, which ended up being the best game of the week? As Josh Pace says, a 4.5 shy game or whatever he says.
4.5.
I mean, heck, Florida Ole Miss more entertaining than most of this stuff.
God, this early window Saturday is just atrocious.
The whole weekend.
It really is a bad weekend, but that early window.
It's a bad weekend.
If Missouri can't hang with Oklahoma, you don't even have to turn the TV on.
Well, look, and I really, and I'm saying this honestly, I don't think SC's going to hang with Oregon. I hope I'm completely wrong.
Well, that's the linchpin to the 2:30 window, Lance.
Oh,
I was counting on that one being good.
Yep. Hey, before we get to trash, BCS standings. Oftentimes, and we've pointed this out since we went to the selection committee, the selection committee and the BCS rankings, the old computer rankings, tweaked a little bit because some things don't exist anymore, usually mirror each other. I would say 99% of the time. Here's what the computers say the rankings should be. Oh, we've got it in a graphic form now. Harder to read. Only needed the top 10.
Who worked hard and did a graphic and screwed this whole thing up, Brooks?
I got you from here, Dunaway.
Go ahead. Look at Mr. Lacey.
Really, the top 10 we needed. But go ahead.
Number one, Ohio
Hold up
State.
on your phone, Dunaway. You'll see it right in front of your face.
Yeah, the one I sent Forrester was.
So Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, A&M 3, Georgia 4, Ole Miss 5, Oregon actually 6, Texas Tech all the way down to 7, Oklahoma at 8, Notre Dame at 9, Alabama at number 10.
The only difference is Texas Tech, Jim. I mean, that's the takeaway here.
Yeah.
Texas Tech is 2 spots lower in the BCS, and other than that, everything else is identical.
The old strength of schedule there, but there you see the
JMU
the
would be the Group 6 champion in the BCS.
Oh, I missed that. You're right. In the BCS computer, look at James Madison at number 22. They're in front of North Texas, and Tulane's 24. Boy, I missed that.
The big takeaway was Alabama and the computers as well behind Notre Dame. For those that think the computers would love Alabama's 4 wins more than the committee did, not the case. Still Alabama 10, in the computers as well.
I know we need to get to trash Mark Stoops on the teleconference. I was the first one to say in our meetings, going to 9 games made no sense. Everybody outside our league, of course they wanted us to, but it made no sense for us to do it. Like every coach today is just lined up saying, we have screwed this thing up. We've screwed it up going to 9 games.
Well, actually, they haven't released the schedule for next year yet.
Yeah.
Well, you hadn't really screwed it up because you can just go back in these out of conference. You can blow them out and just have terrible out of conference.
That's all Mark
games.
Stoops does anyway. So
Yeah,
I mean,
no, you could actually literally, Greg Sankey could say, we're gonna. Well, maybe we'll play 9 games. We're going to count 8 of them.
they used to do that back in the day.
Yeah.
I didn't
look at Virginia. They lost to NC State this year. It didn't count in
That's
the
right.
SEC.
That's right.
Back to your point, Brad, about the consumers wanting this. I think it is great for us. But like, I don't know how these coaches got kind of baited into this. I don't know how the SEC got baited.
I really don't either.
Well, because they were told that it would help, that it would be like basketball. Like Alabama's playing Illinois tonight. If it was just about getting to 25-5, Alabama doesn't play Illinois. Auburn doesn't play Houston. Alabama doesn't play St. John.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to get to 25 wins.
Yeah, but if 20-10 is okay because you play those games, then play the games.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Again, maybe the automatic bids.
Maybe
is
you're
the way
right.
to go. You just play
Maybe
your way
you're
in.
right.
You just play your way in. And then we can schedule all the tough games you want in the conference, and then just whoever survives the conference gets to be in there. Storm Restoration Roofing, a little controversy in the Storm Restoration Roofing household. Oh, no. Greg in Pell City making fun of me yesterday on his social media platform that I was credited Andrea, his beautiful wife, for coming up with a free no-cost roof inspection. She's, they've got 10 kids, and she was like, let's give something back. How about a free no-cost roof inspection? And he was laughing and joking with all of his online buddies. Done away joking about Andrea with that. Listen, I've been doing this a long time. Unnamed sources, high up ranking storm restoration roofing officials have told me in the past that Andrea, many of the major decisions inside that company made by her. It's not a booster run operation like some programs in the country, but she has a hand in almost every decision made there. I'm just saying, Greg from Pell City is the guy that gets on the roof, but who really is the ladder that gets him up there? It's the wife, Andrea. You see in the picture there, Greg from Pell City. You can get that free no-cost roof inspection. Thank you, Andrea. Free no-cost roof inspection. Thank you, madam. 205-542-3531. StormRestorationRoofing.com. Greg from Pell City on Facebook. And once you get Greg on your roof, he's going to tell you there's something wrong. Maybe he's going to tell you there's nothing wrong, and you're good to go. He handles roof replacements when those roofs age out, storm damage repairs, roofing repairs. He's got a builder's license that I'm sure Andrea encouraged him to get so that he can do small repairs as well. Works well with the insurance providers, probably because Andrea made cookies or something and Greg gave it to the insurance providers. All right there with Storm Restoration Roofing. 205-542-3531. Greg from Pell City on Facebook. Nobody's better. A-plus rated Storm Restoration Roofing.
Now, the women love you when you get out there. Why do you think that is?
What is that?
The women love you when you get out there.
Why is that, ladies?
Well, I'm asking you.
Huh? Because I
What do you
look
think
good.
that is? You
I
look
smell
good.
good. I
Yeah.
feel good.
And you sing good.
And make love good.
Oh, well, there we are. We don't have to ask anybody else. We got that from the source. There you are.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light. Quick programming note. I don't know if you guys have talked about this week, but Moe's Barbecue. We'll be broadcasting 11 to 2 next week from the Auburn location.
That's Black Friday show at Moe's Barbecue.
So GameStop opening its doors to almost anything customers want to bring in for store credit during its upcoming Trade Anything Day. Now, the one-day promotion invites people to show up with unusual items instead of the usual lineup of games, consoles, and accessories. Company is billing the event as, quote, bring whatever and get store credit with a tongue-in-cheek reminder of, quote, some questions asked. Now, the event marks a broader push to get customers back in stores with more flexible, attention-grabbing take on trade-ins. GameStop says nearly any physical item is eligible as long as it meets size requirements and passes a staff inspection. That includes taxidermy, which the retailer specifically confirms is valid for trade. Is that a stuffed fox?
I think this
Is
is
it
from
car
a meme,
foxes?
but it looks like a stuffed fox, and it looks kind of funny, so I went with it instead of real taxidermy, because
Now,
that's just disturbing.
Despite the anything goes branding, GameStop has outlined a detailed set of items that won't be accepted. Exclusions include hazardous waste, chemicals, and liquids, as well as lithium-ion batteries or any item that contains one. Weapons and ammo are not allowed. Dead or alive animals are prohibited, although taxidermy is permitted.
I brought my old lady.
List also blocks alcohol, tobacco, drugs, pharmaceuticals, and most computers such as desktops, laptops, tablets, all-in-ones, VR headsets with built-in processors. Other banned items include portable digital music players, gift cards, jewelry, sexual, explicit, a bunch of stuff.
Ex-wife.
Yeah, so there's a long list of things you can't
all
bring.
items have got to fit inside a 20 by 20 by 20 box, and employees have final discretion to decline a trade.
It is GameStop's trade anything day except for these 3 pages. You cannot trade any of these things.
I mean, really, it was more disclaimers than you get with a pharmaceutical commercial.
Yeah. Really, it's basically you can come trade any old game, and they're going to take that.
A stolen truck suspect caught earlier this week after he eluded and fled from law enforcement by hiding in a central Florida state park swamp for more than 2 days.
Boy.
According to the Volusia County Sheriff's Office, 37-year-old Earl Dory was spotted in a stolen truck on Wednesday, and as deputies tried to arrest him, he bailed out of the vehicle and ran into De Leon Springs State Park, natural spring located about 47 miles north of Orlando.
It does sound refreshing in the natural spring.
That's what Ty Webb tells.
Man, he looks like he got drugged by a horse.
That's what Ty Webb tells Carl Spackler. Pool in a pond. Pond would be good for you.
Yeah, pool in a pond. Now, quoties in the water. A deputy can be heard yelling, "Dude, just give the F up." Despite being able to capture 2 other suspects who were also inside of the stolen truck with him, deputies unable to apprehend Dory. On Friday afternoon, they provided an update on Facebook stating that Dory was captured after one of their K-9 units found him covered in mud, shoeless, and pantless. Agency went on to say, quote, "His only complaint is that he's thirsty and his legs hurt."
That's not going to be the only complaint he needs to have.
He was taken to a local hospital before being booked in jail on his warrants and other charges, including aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, fleeing from law enforcement, and possession of a controlled substance.
Going to hide in the swamp. I'm going to go with a long sleeve tee and my boxer shorts. That's going to be my outfit there.
Yeah, I wonder if being in the swamp that long in just your boxers, like if he ended up with a Stand By Me situation.
Little itch.
The leeches, yeah.
Yeah. Scratching where you're not supposed to scratch all the time.
God, you could never be comfortable in the swamp, ever, in any second.
No, but you always think something's going to kill you.
Speaking of swamps, teacher in Malaysia encountered a 130-pound python after it fell through her bathroom ceiling.
Yeah, you got to burn the house to the ground. You got to burn it to the ground. Oh, my gosh, that is nightmare fuel.
Now, she said her 15-year-old daughter first noticed the broken part of the bathroom ceiling at about 4 p.m. after returning from school, felt too scared to use the bathroom. Quote, "I was in a meeting at the time when my daughter sent me a photo of the ceiling that had collapsed. When I got home, I checked the bathroom and I saw what looked like a piece of batik cloth sticking out of the broken ceiling. I wondered how the batik cloth could end up there. My daughter then zoomed in with her phone camera, and that's when we realized it was actually part of a snake's body." That's when she contacted the Civil Defense Force for help in removing the reptile, only to realize its massive size once it fell from the ceiling.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, now it's mad.
Yeah. Don't you agree? You got to burn the house to the ground. That's really the only reason.
What country is this?
I agree. Malaysia.
Malaysia, okay.
Yeah. Yikes. I mean, they can't even get the thing out of... Oh, my gosh. I can't even watch that. That gives... it has... Oh.
Yeah, long as it's not Hoover.
That'd be a little too close to home.
Jeeves, have you seen the trailer for Anaconda, the new one?
I have. It looks like a great
ridiculous. I know you'll be there, right?
I will be there opening night.
Are they trying to get the snake in that bucket, or is that bucket like the trash can for the bathroom?
I think they're just trying to get it out of the ceiling first.
I think you can see by the as Hugh Freeze would say, the girth of the snake right there, that it's going to be really big.
It's girth important. That's what you said.
See, there needs to have a guy with an axe standing off to the side when they get it on the floor here to throw that axe one time.
That is correct.
Let's at least divide and conquer.
Lop that head off.
Hey,
cut it in half. At least we got one half of its headless at that point.
Is this our equivalent of hemp hill?
You just call them for anything.
Well, in Malaysia, it's going to be different,
The
right? You
Civil
think they're
Defense
doing live
Force.
reads? They're talking about cricket right now.
When do you find a python in your bathroom like Lance did?
Finally, China is pushing live sports streaming into the future with new technology that gives fans full control over the camera, letting viewers rotate, zoom, and reposition the angle in real time. How big of a pain in the ass would this be if you're watching with somebody that wanted to control everything in their house?
I know.
Now, the system made its big debut at the 15th National Games, where basketball and badminton spectators can now explore matches from any perspective using the, quote, ultra perspective broadcasting mode.
I wonder if Jackson Arnold scored in this television broadcast.
Project is a collaboration between Central Video, the National Key Laboratory, the Sports Youth Program Center, the Technology Bureau, and teams in China. Now, together they deployed a fully homegrown, quote, three-dimensional video event, live broadcast system. Setup uses real-time 3D video acquisition array combined with deep learning and 3D reconstructive algorithms. Now, the result is a seamless blend of multi-angle video and real-time 3D modeling of the entire playing surface. With this tech, fans can drag the camera freely in 360 degrees, switch viewpoints instantly, or zoom in on specific players using phones, tablets, and other devices. It seems like a lot to
It
me.
really does. I was watching.
Got enough cameras now in college football and the NFL where I'm completely content.
Yeah, you watch a football game with my brother. He is obsessed with rewinding and watching things. Like, he doesn't think the instant replay gets there quick enough. So just rewind that and watch it. I'm like,
No, I can't do that.
No, we're not going to do that.
I can't do that because my fear then is I'm not caught up.
That's right.
That I'm not up. I'm not live. I can't tell you how many times I hit live on the weekend.
I know. No, he's like,
Am I live? Am I live? I'm not 2 plays behind.
Yeah, he'll always be like, hey, skip that back and let's watch it. Nope, they'll show a replay if it's that good. I promise you.
Yeah.
These guys get paid a lot of money. If it's that compelling, they're going to show you a replay.
With a better angle than the one you just saw the play happen.
Yeah.
And that is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And as LT said, not this Friday. Normal showtime this Friday, 9 to 12. But next Friday, Black Friday, after we take Thursday, Thanksgiving Day off, we're here Wednesday, we're here Friday, but Friday not in studio, 11 to 2 down in Auburn as we do our final road show of the regular season. 11 to 2 with our friends at Bud Light and Adams Beverage, Moe's Barbecue in Auburn. So come on out and see us, especially if you're getting down early to spend the weekend in Auburn for the Iron Bowl. Should be a lot of fun. Did you update us on that Auburn? How Auburn's going to play Alabama better? Did you give us an update on that?
It was 30 degrees. That was the update. The weather's going to be in the 30s. It was the weather update.
It was the weather.
Yeah.
I thought
it had nothing to do.
I thought it was some kind of metric that was going to help Auburn play Alabama tougher.
Well, Auburn probably has the all-time lead in Iron Bowls that are 30 degrees or less.
Does that keep you home if you're a fan, though? Auburn, part of it is this really good atmosphere in Jordan-Hare, but if you're an Auburn fan...
30 degrees, man.
That's tough.
Jamar Chase, 1-game suspension for spitting. We hope you are with us tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. These guys at Odie's, Bama and Bourbon, a new episode dropping here in a moment. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.